High schools. Students in years 7 and 8 will have to study civics and citizenship for an hour a week, while every subject in year 9 and 10 will have civics and citizenship incorporated into it. The state government will spend $18.4 million to roll out the changes. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it'll protect and strengthen the state's democracy.
Democracy isn't perfect, and it never will be, but it always operates at its best when the community, when citizens care about it and value it and actually treat it with a degree of responsibility about investing their own energy and effort in its success.
A deal has been struck allowing legislation putting the CFMEU into administration to pass federal parliament. The government and opposition have been locked in talks over the scandal-plagued union for days. To secure coalition support, Labor has agreed to a minimum administration period of 3 years. Shadow Workplace Minister Michaelia Cash says she's also received a guarantee the union will not donate to political parties during that period.
I have been provided with a copy of the letter from the administrator to Minister Watt that clearly sets out his goals, and one of those goals is that the CFMEU will not incur political campaign expenditure or be making donations to political parties.
Booktopia is back. The online store is taking orders again after being sold to the owner of online camera store DigiDirect. Booktopia fell into administration in July. All remaining employees will be retained and 100 new employees will be recruited. TikTok is dominating screen time, with those between the ages of 10 and 15 using the mobile phone app for more than 2 hours a day. New data also reveals nearly 40% of children between 7 and 9 have an X account, putting them at risk of exposure to graphic material. Neuroscientist Professor Selena Bartlett says that's worrying.
We're just in an urgent situation where people need to become more, pull their head out of the sand and recognise that these platforms are very unsafe. And it's the content too, right, because you don't want children's brains seeing that content.
A rare piece of Beatles memorabilia is up for grabs. Pete Best's symbol from his first drum kit used with the band is going under the hammer. It's expected to fetch over $100,000 US. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Take sporting entertainment to the next level at Sporties in the Aqaba Hotel, Adelaide's home of live sport.
Crow Isaac Rankin is recovering at home after he was knocked out during the showdown. Port's Dan Houston will front the tribunal tomorrow night. Meantime, Port has confirmed its mascot Thunder was punched in the face by a teenager during the showdown, giving the man inside the suit a blood nose. Black Caviar's death over the weekend has taken another tragic turn with the news her newborn foal died. Manchester City has opened its title defence in the EPL with a 2-0 win over Chelsea. And Olympic bronze medalist Hideki Matsuyama has won the PGA Tour's St Jude Championship, the first tournament of the playoffs. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Help make a real difference to young lives. Register today for Operation Flinders City to Summit this September.
G'day there at Oakton. A burst water main to look out for. Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. Trot Park, broken down truck on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road with delays inbound. Crafers, a breakdown on the freeway near the Crafers ramp. And slow for works at Pracker this afternoon. Bridge Road near Carr Street. Cameras, Church Terrace at Walkerville and Arthur Street at Tranmere. From school drop-off to the beach, everywhere is an adventure with a 7-seater Isuzu MUX. Visit your local Isuzu Ute dealer today to discover the range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers developing this afternoon. Showers tomorrow 18. Wednesday showers 18. Thursday a shower or two 17. Right now it's 17 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Brackless. Tonight, a fan's racist sledge towards Port's Willie Rioli during the heated showdown. How to take advantage of a battle for your business being waged by credit cards. Only on 9. The extraordinary story of hidden treasure found buried beneath a family home. And meet the Adelaide librarians who become unlikely internet celebrities. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Stay informed, get involved. FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show.
Get around the little bar!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
It's a beauty! The siren sounds. Showdown 56 is won by Port Adelaide, and the scoreboard is 28-28. It's all even in the showdowns. And we saw one for the ages there. They'll talk about that for a long time.
We certainly did at 7 after 4 on this Monday afternoon. Talking points galore as it sets up a scintillating finish to the year. 9 games remain to decide finals and 9 finals left to decide the flag. It's our Monday footy review. Your calls 8223 0000. Let's get them going as we welcome in Timmy G and Scotty Camporeale.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Thanks for listening in. Showdown 56, it's been one and done. It erupted, there's no doubt about that. The ledger is squared away at 28 each, and the ramifications of the Houston bump will play out this week. We'll have Graham Corns on with his opinions. We'll have Warren Treadray on with his opinions. But right now, I've got Scott Camporeale with your opinions for the next 6 days.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it's good to be here.
Good to see you, mate.
Oh, great week to come in, isn't it?
Wow.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Week out from finals. A lot of ramifications for winning and losing.
Yeah, I think the boys will probably try and snap up a bit of the audio from that moment. And I thought there was a real moment where you started to go, right, what happens now is really important. And it was exactly what I was thinking. And I turned to you and gave you a thumbs up to say, yeah, that's where I'm at in my head. What happens now is really important. So, look, I know there's plenty of unique homestyle food texts. We'll get to your calls because we're going to open up to you. We're not going to have a long opener here. We're going to get straight into our calls, 8223 0000. We'll hand it over to you for the showdown summary. But I'm with you on the fact that I reckon what happened at that moment, we all know the Houston incident on Isaac Rankin, and the first thing we go to is let's hope that Isaac recovers okay and doesn't have any long-term ramifications of that. But as a coach, and you love getting in the coach's corner, that moment was it was important and significant.
Yeah, well, you know, as we called Timmy, I went straight to how important the game is, and the game was in the balance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, at that point in time, Adelaide were only a goal in front.
Correct. It
was a real arm wrestle up until then in that second quarter. I went back and had a look at the notes that I sort of wrote down during the game, and it was first 9 minutes, there was only one goal scored, and that was poor. It was a real high pressure, and I reckon we called it early in the game. Both teams were well over 200 in terms of the pressure rating, where the AFL average is about 180, so both teams were on the rivet. And if you have a look, I mean, the contested possession, it was 150 to 147. That's just, that is through the roof, like in terms of, you know, so the players would be...
And that's where we always liked showdowns, and we loved showdowns at that level.
Well, that's a final.
I think the last three, I think the Crows lifted that level. Port didn't.
No, they did.
I think because it meant so much for Port on the ladder, we got back to what showdowns we expect.
And getting back to that moment in time, it was about, right, who's going to settle quicker? Who's going to understand the scenario in terms of what are the umpires going to do? How are they going to adjudicate it? And then who's going to bubble over? And it's always essentially a history, and you can probably jump in here too, Timmy. It's around the team that the player gets knocked out, or the player that they always bubble up a little bit more on the basis that they're angry because a teammate's been hit, or
there's a revenge factor.
There is, and so it was over to the leaders, and we said it in the call. It was how do Adelaide's leaders now take this moment to grab that group, and how to Port on that flip side do the same thing, and who can get control. And you'd have to say, at the end of the day, Port handled it better than what Adelaide did in terms of that, what we just spoke about.
Let's have a listen to both coaches on the summary of Showdown 56.
The reality is for us, we had to stay inside the fence. We didn't need to worry about anything else. And I think our whole week was really, really disciplined around just sticking to what we have done really well. We've been in pretty solid form, and we've had to work really hard to get some wins, and tonight was going to be no different. Didn't matter what else had gone on. We spent our whole week worrying about the opposition's quality and what we needed to do to blunt that, and we did it pretty well.
Key moments where we've made, you know, some fundamental errors when it comes to the way we play, and or we've gone away from the way we play. And so you learn from those that the team doesn't need more from you at this point. They need you just to play your role and be rock solid in that. This year it's probably been the most frustrating part of our season is we've been in the fight and not quite able to finish it off.
Well, talking about key moments, let's just have a listen to a little montage of the 5AA call of some of those key moments. It's a long ball in, it's all keen, he just punched it, could have marked it. That's a great hit by Dan Houston.
He's out.
And there have been some big moments. Yeah, it was proper showdown. It was on.
It's on. Here we go. This is going to go down in history. victory. One of these boys. This is an all-in, yeah.
Every showdown's obviously high pressure, and they've all got elements of that in it, and I guess that's what's make the rivalry so good.
Dan Houston won't play for the rest of the season. He's in big trouble.
We didn't handle as well as we'd like. Probably a pretty good lesson for us in what it looks like when emotions are high and the adrenaline's pumping, and every person in the stadium would have felt it.
He'll wait and see what's delivered to him, and he'll move on from there. He's a really, really good person. I can't say it enough, and I know that people also then go, I don't care whether he's really good. I do. I care about him. Fantastic player.
There it is. Let's go to the phones. We've got Charlie at Moodta. G'day, Charlie.
Hey, Timmy, how are you? Where's Rowie? Is he off having a sook?
No, he did leave last week. He went to a friend's wedding, so he's back next Tuesday.
The reason I'm ringing is two things. One, the umpires didn't give a free, didn't report him, whatever. They saw the incident as to what happened. It was two players running to the fall of the ball. Houston's looking up in the air at the ball, running from the person who punched the ball. Well, he could have kicked it. It doesn't matter. He's running from where the ball's coming towards the ball, looking up. And Rankin's running away from that, looking over his shoulder. They both hit. It was a split second of two players committed to get to the ball. If he is reported and rubbed out, that's going to change the whole game. There's enough people that are pissed off with all the changes, like you've got to have a note from your mum to play in the ruck and all this sort of stuff. The game is just changing so much. It's unbelievable. This is going to have a huge implications on what players can and can't do during a game when all they're trying to do is get the ball.
So, Charlie, I'll ask you a quick question here. He had a choice to bump or tackle. Which one do you think he should have done?
He put his arms up to catch the ball.
Houston,
and then you could see his arms came up and then he dropped them because he had to protect himself. The split second that he had to make that decision, the first thing he wanted to do is protect himself because he suddenly saw the guy coming at him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way you see it, Charlie. There's a lot of differing opinions around that, but unfortunately, the way the game's adjudicated, as you rightly pointed out, there's a decision to be made, and ultimately, I think Dan made the wrong one.
Yeah, I think we've seen that the game has already changed, and that
and for the right reasons too.
And we spoke about it off air, you and I, about the fact that it's got rid of a lot of incidents that we would have seen as commonplace 20 years ago that now aren't there. Let's go to West Croydon, speak to John. G'day, John.
Howdy, guys. Well, if I've ever heard some delusion, it was your last caller. Incredible that somebody's got that take on it. But anyway, let's move on. I was more interested in, there's a few things I was watching on the TV, right? And obviously good old Isaac was targeted all night, right? And then the vision at the end of the game, where Matty Nix was walking off with Ken Hinkley and having some words. Matty Nix was not happy at all. He was shaking his head, walked away, and at one point in time, Ken Hinkley didn't even want to look at him, right? Well, he wouldn't look at him. My question is, I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm thinking that, Dan, his history isn't buggery. And I'm thinking that Matty Nix is thinking that there's been some deliberate instruction from the coaches around roughing up Isaac, and the culmination of all that was somebody at a point in time ironing him out. Now, I just can't see any other thing that Matty Nix that would have been going through Matty Nix's head at that point in time when he was talking to Ken Hinkley. And the other point I want to make, there was, from the vision on TV, there were a number of poor people clapping Isaac off. But could you imagine being such a low class of human that you're sitting there waving someone off that pretty much was sent on the other side of the sun and thinking that that was okay? It's incredible that, the human race can be so stupid, right, that somebody thinks it's okay for somebody to be ironed out in that way. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think, I certainly don't disagree with that. I mean, you're always going to have people, at footy that do silly things, and ultimately, whether they truly believe that that's the case or not, it's probably not. I don't think anyone likes to see what happened to Isaac, whether you're a footy lover, a Port supporter or a Crow supporter. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, players' welfare is important, and they're out there putting on a show and putting their bodies on the line. And yeah, it was unfortunate, but that's the game we play, but there's rules in place now to eliminate some of that stuff that perhaps Timmy and I played with 20 years ago.
We even got seduced into watching it, frame by frame, and where could a decision be made and the like. But I'm with you, John. I think when you get older too, I reckon the moment when somebody gets hurt, you always think like, what if that was my son or my daughter? I mean, it goes straight through you. There's no doubt. G'day, Michael.
Oh, g'day. Scott, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, just about the incident with the bump. I mean, I think Dan Houston knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, he knows the rules. It's been well documented all season that you choose to bump someone, he chose to bump someone, and the consequences of concussion and everything else and the well-being of the other player, he's got to get a nasty suspension to send a clear message, because players are not taking it seriously. He's got to be looking at least 6 weeks to 8 weeks, because 4 weeks is not enough. I mean, this is worse than what happened with Isaac Rankin with the Brisbane player. He actually lined him right up, and they were niggling him early. They were taking him out of the game because he was the difference between Port Power making the 4 or not. And they identified him as the player that they had to stop, and they sure did. And that's not the way we want to see. I mean, that's not in the spirit of the game. You can't do that anymore. And for Ken Hinkley to say he's a nice bloke, what's that got to do with it anyway? I mean, whether he's a nice bloke or not. Isaac is the victim, and Dan is the villain. Simple as that. And he's got to now cop the consequences, and the AFL got to stand up for their own sake, because this concussion is getting serious. They're going to get sued heavily if they don't stop the high hit, and that was a high hit, and that changed the game.
Yeah, Camp, I'll ask you, do you think it was premeditated to focus?
No, I don't think it. And I think we're drawing a long bow that in this day and age that coaches or match committees or players are going out to try and hurt a player from the opposition. I reckon back in our day, you used to get targeted, and I don't think there's, like, that's probably the next level, but they're allowed to put good players off their games, though, Tim. Yep. Otherwise we are sanitising the game.
Because as coaches, you would say, like, you've got to put some pressure on this bloke. Or,
absolutely. Because we said it on Friday, him and Robbie Gray, they're two very similar players in terms of what they bring and how dangerous they are in these showdowns. They only need 15 touches, and he was on early, Isaac, as well. But I think we're drawing a long bow that a match committee or a footy club, let's take Port out of it, go out of their way to try and hurt opposition players and put them out of the game. I just don't think that happens, or particularly not anymore. And I certainly, over my coaching career, never, ever heard that in a match committee.
And that was how many years?
10 years. Yeah. 12 years at AFL level. So, but yeah, do you try and put some pressure on them and take them out of their comfort zone and all those sort of things? Absolutely. It's no different than, I guess, getting tagged. But I don't think that there was any conceived idea that Dan Houston goes, there's Isaac Rankin, and I'm going to go on him. So, but it is a split decision. We understand that, but he made the wrong one.
We're going to get back to your calls straight after the break. It's 20 minutes after 4, 8223 0000. It's our Monday footy review. Cornsey will join us in studio soon, and Treaders after 5 o'clock. Lockie Murphy from the Crows and Tyson Goldsack as well from Port Adelaide. As we dissect all things Showdown 56, 20 after 4. Your calls for that $50 Powers voucher next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Buying, selling, leasing or renting? When it comes to real estate, the right advice can save you thousands. Every Wednesday afternoon from 2 p.m, the expert team from Toop and Toop will join you for Real Estate Radio. You'll get the right advice from Adelaide's most awarded real estate firm, and for some individual advice, you can call the Real Estate Lounge from 2:30. Join me, Stacey Lee, and the expert team from Toop and Toop every Wednesday afternoon from 2 o'clock here on 1395 Adelaide's 5AA.
Mario Mayola Promotions and 5AA present Hooked on Swing, starring vocal sensation Kate Black, the Three Little Sisters, and crooner Chris Lloyds, together with the Boogie Woogie Big Band and Swing Dancers. Come hear the music of Benny Goodman, Cab Calloway, Billie Holiday, the Andrews Sisters, Glenn Miller, Nina Simone and more. Hooked on Swing, Festival Theatre, Wednesday, October 2nd. Book now at Ticketek.
Hi, Tom Burlinson here, inviting you to a celebration of swing.
Somewhere
beyond the sea. The greatest songs of the style, all performed live with my swinging band.
It's up to you, New York.
Tom Burlinson and his big band still swinging at the Capri Theatre November 8. One show only, book now. capri.org.au.
Yeah, great company this. You won't believe the rest you'll get from a complete comfort mattress. They're built with active zones, so you can adjust them with just the click of a button to ensure your body gets the right support in the right places. Now, that's even if you're a side sleeper.
Yeah, I'm a side sleeper,
Good
Tim,
work.
so I might have a look at one. The dual controls also mean that you can set it as comfy as you want without upsetting your partner. That's
Ooh.
important, Tim, as
Yes,
you know.
yes,
If
indeed.
you have trouble sleeping, or you snore, or you've got a sporting injury that's giving you some trouble, complete comfort is your answer.
Great call. What does a bed with all these features look like? Well, actually, it looks pretty much normal. The normal mattress, normal base, so you won't be surprised, but you wouldn't know the difference in the look. In the feel, yes.
Yes, well, that's important. The feel is important. You really have to see these beds, Timmy, and have a lay down and try one for yourself at their new showroom. Visit completecomfort.com.au or visit their showroom near Wayville. Experience complete comfort beds for yourself.
I will.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Hey guys, did you know that at Austrac Campers you can start your next family adventure for less than $60,000? Come and check out the Madigan 15B.
Austrac Campus.
Welcome aboard qualified carpenter, builder and building supervisor Niall Deegan. After working as an employee for the last couple of years, Niall has recently decided to become an employer and open the Holdfast Bay arm of House Inspect Australia. So if you're looking to build or buy in the Holdfast Bay or Marion Council area, get in touch with Niall. And if you're a qualified builder and looking for a career change, give us a call and find out about becoming a House Inspect Australia franchisee.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Kenny came over and asked about Isaac and just said, please, pass on my best and wished him, make sure he's speedy recovery. And then we spoke a little bit about finals.
24 minutes after 4, believe what you will, here on our Monday footy review, which we're taking your calls for, 8223 0000. Cornsey in studio with us shortly at 4:30 and Campo in, co-hosting the show till next Monday with Timmy G. Let's check your traffic for Rossdale Homes, the custom home, 2-story and split-level specialists.
G'day there at Modbury, multi-vehicle smash on North East Road at Reservoir Road. At Oakton, burst water main, Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive, and Trot Park, a broken down truck on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road with delays inbound. Slow works at Paraka, Bridge Road near Carr Street, and a camera at Church Terrace at Walkerville. Say goodbye to winter and hello to Hot Asia deals. Save up to 50% on an 8-night Phuket stay from just $1,385 for 2. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
We'll get back to your calls, 8223 0000. We've got Bill. G'day, Bill.
G'day, boys. How you going? Look, no one likes to see any player get hurt. Doesn't matter what team you're for, and you've got silly supporters on both sides. We all know that. We make stupid comments or cheer when some player gets hurt. That's just not on. No one likes to see anyone get hurt. But I have had a look at the vision of it several times. He made a split decision choice to bump instead of tackling, which he could have done. I don't know. I've never played that level, so how quick the game is. He chose to bump. He's obviously got to face the consequences. But I think a couple of years ago, if this had happened, he might have got a game. He might have gone to the tribunal. It's so much. The game has changed so much since the Maynard hit on Brayshaw. And if you look at it as a bump, his feet didn't leave the ground. He didn't line him up from 20 metres away or anything. unfortunately, Isaac had the ball and he just ran straight into him instead of tackling.
Yeah, you're right, Bill.
It's a tough call.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. I think when you said it, maybe 5 years, I think it's probably more than that. I think since we've been trying to, what would you say? I think I said it 2 years ago. I thought the bump was well and truly out, and I reckon if they had drawn a hard and fast line to say bumps no longer, I reckon all of a sudden you go, it gets inside the psyche of the players and the subconscious, and they know they can't.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, I mean, I'm still a bit of a purist, Timmy, with that stuff, and it's not, bumping. If you and I side to side, and and that's a battle of strength. But the bit that probably upset me on the night with that incident was more the fact that Isaac was in a pretty vulnerable position, and that's what we're trying to, I guess, eradicate from the game. So he did have a choice, and there is a split-second decision. And you could argue, Dan was at that split second was trying to protect himself because he thought, if I tackle, do I take him head on and then knock myself out? So, and I'm not saying it's right either way, but ultimately, that's potentially may have what's gone through. We're not going to know. Maybe we'll hear it tomorrow night in the when he goes up in front of the tribunal.
So if I can ask you both quickly, if you had a number in mind, how many weeks is Dan Houston looking at for yours?
Yeah, I don't think that's our job. I don't think that's our job. I actually don't like people predicting what somebody's going to get. I think that's why you have a tribunal. I mean, what
would the AFL look at?
If you're going to Sir Samuel Wade building, mate, I'm not predicting what you're getting.
What would the AFL be looking to set, though, as a bar? Because we've seen them set examples throughout the year.
Let them tell me.
Okay.
Well, I think, at a minimum, he's been sent to the tribunal with 3+. So that's going to be the minimum. 3 is going to be the minimum. Now, it's whether they, whatever put up in terms of how they address it, in terms of, the definition, careless, severe, high contact, is it, intentional, is it, all those things come into play. And I agree with Tim to a certain extent, but ultimately, the matrix says it's 3+. That's why he's got set there. So he's not going to get anything less than 3. Is the way that we look at it.
We'll know what the AFL want to say.
You're not saying any other number. You just know it's going to be more than 3.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's go to Steve at Lightsview. G'day, Steve.
Yeah, how you going, boys? I just wanted to say, probably like everybody else, I've got opinions on this, but one thing that sticks out in my mind is last week on the morning show, they talked on the news about insurers not insuring guys anymore for career-ending concussion stuff. So where's that going to go? That's going to go to court. So Dan Houston takes out Isaac Rankin. It's seen as negligent. Maybe this is hypothetical. Isaac, can't play anymore. Say, what happens? How does he recover his future, his career? It goes to court. Lawyers get involved. This is going to turn into a mess.
Yeah, it's probably a question. I know we have Tim Downey on from Johnson Withers. I reckon he's probably the guy that might be able to help us in that area. But it was very interesting that, I can't remember the insurance company, but they said, no, we're not covering this anymore. At Zurich, was it? Yeah, so they said they're not going to cover it anymore. And that, to me, opened another door. I thought, whoa, this is going to get even more serious.
Well, it's these 3 words, duty of care now, isn't it? That's all we hear now in all this stuff.
We've got the 4:30 headlines coming up. Graham Corns, you might even see him already on the Foodland live stream. He's ready to go next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Former State Liberal leader David Spears has been dumped from the front bench by his successor. A new subject is being made mandatory in SA high schools, civics and citizenship. Booktopia is back after being sold to the owner of online camera store DigiDirect. And in sport, Brisbane Lion Lincoln McCarthy has inked a new 1-year deal with the club. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help make a real difference to young lives. Register today for Operation Flinders City to Summit this September.
G'day there at Modbury, a multi-car smash on North East Road at Reservoir Road. Burst water made at Oakton, Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. And at Trott Park, got a broken down truck on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Really big delays both directions there and speeds are reduced. Slow for works at Unley Road near Clyde Streets with a camera at Bevington Road at Glenonga. Try the Optus mobile network free for 7 days with the Optus network trial. Sign up with an eSIM via the My Optus app. Visit optus.com.au/trial. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, showers tonight down to 13, showers tomorrow 18. Right now it's 17 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
The Crown and Anchor Hotel, one of Adelaide's most loved music venues. The Premier made good on his vow. Peter Malinauskas.
I reached out to the developer and sat down with him, and we are giving the developer a whole bunch of things through a special purpose piece of legislation.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
So a smaller footprint so the cranky can be saved in exchange for height. So it's going up to 29 stories instead of 19.
Great result for the crank app. Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
My name is Doug. I'm here with my friend Deb from St. Louis Home Care.
We'd even call you family, Doug.
Deb's certainly there when I need her, and she helps me with my shopping, cleaning, and takes us out and about on the bus.
With our St. Louis Home Care packages, we're here to help you stay in the home you love for longer.
Oh, it's made a big difference in my life, that's for sure.
Join Doug and Deb. Google St. Louis Home Care today.
With IGA's Community Give Back sale, you can make big savings.
And help support local causes. Look for tickets on specials like Pedigree Dentistix Daily Oral Care 28-pack varieties, $12 each, half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends August 20 while stocks last. Excludes Foodland and local grocer.
Now, Right Price. It's a name synonymous with Adelaide's very best in heating and cooling. Now it's risen to whole new heights. Literally, my friend, Right Price are going to go to people for all things roofing. Same exceptional service, value, quality, now in roofing.
Right Price Roofing do it all, from a total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs and cleaning. In fact, the Right Price Roofing team has over 25 years of experience in roof repairs and restoration.
They also provide roof painting. You'll love the result. And in typical Right Price fashion, they only use quality roofing products in everything they do.
And for peace of mind, Timmy, Right Price Roofing will give you a rock-solid quote, so the only surprise you'll get is when the job is done and how magnificent your roof and home looks.
Nice, isn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. Now, leaky roof, roof cleaning, total roof restoration. Do it right. Get in touch with Right Price Roofing. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
Are you living with heart disease or know someone who is? No matter where you are on your heart health journey, no matter where you live, My Heart, My Life is here to support you to get back to doing the things you love. My Heart, My Life is the Heart Foundation's free support program for people living with heart disease and those caring for them. Receive heart health information, practical tips and guidance tailored to your needs. Take the next step to living well with heart disease. Join today at myheartmylife.org.au.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
Specsavers do hearing aids. That's surprising. But here's the real surprise. Our prices on high-tech hearing aids are also surprisingly low. Visit us online and compare today. Specsavers for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sport Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Campo in for Rowie this week. It's 25 minutes to 5. It's our Monday footy review as we do each and every week. Treader's joining us after 5 and we'll speak with both the Crows and Port Adelaide with Lockie Murphy and Tyson Goldsack on the back of Showdown 56. But right now we're taking your calls. 8223 0000 lines available with the stud
Graham Studley Corns.
Corns in front, takes the mark. Corns gets himself right back there. Corns, and Corns with one hand.
Thanks to BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
Yes, Graham Corns comes in each and every Monday thanks to BL Shipway. Now,
I
love it. You always bring a list in, mate. You're great at preparing
Quiet
always. Day. And then I'll see the number one topic.
Did the better team win?
Yeah.
Did the better team win? On balance, yes.
but I don't think they're that much better.
I actually personally thought
they gutsed it out.
Crows first half,
yeah,
and I thought Port just slightly better second half, which is why it was a close margin.
They gutsed it out. I'm not sure when you line them up for man for man, given the difficulty Port Adelaide has in their forward line. Man for man, they're probably not that much different, but they gutsed it out. They were more desperate and they moved the ball up more quickly, and they didn't lose their focus. The Crows completely, the Crows boys completely changed the momentum when they started to play the man after the Isaac Rankin, Dan Houston.
You coached a lot of football, and you were in an era where the biff was on reasonably common.
It was on.
What was always your instruction, either pre-game or post-game or during game, to try and get the focus back, or what was your instructions?
Stick up for your teammate.
Okay.
Do not let them impose any sort of physical presence on you. If someone gives it to one of our team, you've got to exact vengeance. But it's all about the next contest. You do what you have to square up. And you could do it. I mean, you could do it in those days. You just have to look at some of the old vision to see. So you square up, and it's always about the next contest. You've got to get your focus back, and you can't give away the 50-metre penalty. I know what Darcy Fogarty was trying to do. He's trying to impose a leadership presence and stick up for his teammate. But it failed miserably, and they gave away a couple of 50-metre penalties. They didn't score a goal in that third quarter, and that's what let Port Adelaide back into it. And that was a different. Now, but there was another tactical failure which contributed to it. We've seen how restricted Zach Butters can be when there's a hard tag on him. They didn't go with a hard tag. Now, whether they couldn't work out which one.
You picked that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or did you pick that up as well?
Well, I just thought that Berry was the obvious choice.
I
said
pre-game.
I said he would have been the one, and I would have gone Drew to Dawson. They are the two most influential players. Yeah. And the other one, without taking your space, Graham, was Isaac Rankin, how they were going to catch him from centre bounce forward, because that's where he loses players. But to your first point with Butters, I just thought they gave him way too much room. I agree with that.
And there's history there. I mean, he was really quiet in the middle of the year when teams did do a hard tag.
I think Carlton started that. Chincotta.
Yeah, Chincotta did it.
They let him off, and he was in and under, and he got away from him. I mean, it must be difficult when you're planning to play against Port Adelaide with that midfield. Butters, Rosie, or Horn Francis. Now there's three. Rosie and Butters are similar sort of players. Horn Francis totally different. You've got to have somebody else a bit bigger and stronger on him, and you've probably got to pick him up forward of centre when he goes forward of centre. They didn't appear to do that either. So look, Nixie has to sit down with his coaching staff and say, look, is he going to? One game left. Is he more concerned about what happened to Isaac Rankin, or is he going to sit down and analyse this as critically as he should, because it was a tactical failure to not do that.
Oh, and coming up against Sydney, where they did run a tag, they used Michaelani, and that was the first time we ever saw him run through the midfield, and they rated Chad Warner highly, and he went after him, if you remember that, Graham. But I agree. I was surprised, because I thought Berry did a pretty good job at rolling over the week before against the Bulldogs, and I thought he was pivotal, Sam Berry, in their win the week before, in terms of shutting down Bontempelli and Liberatore and these guys around the contest, and I thought that's where they could get Zach around there and then try and work off him, but it didn't happen.
They used Lockie Murphy for one quarter in a tagging role, and I didn't mind him doing that. We haven't seen him do it since, but
he did it against Lockie Neal when he was out of control at about 28 at half time. I'm not sure that's the way you go.
We're going to take calls, 8223 0000. You got Stud here. G'day, Jim.
G'day, boys. A couple of quick ones. Last time I phoned, I was in the UK, and Australia just won the Lord's Test, but all the Poms wanted to talk about was the Bairstow incident.
Right.
I'm starting to have flashbacks here because, the Houston incident, let's not forget, Rankin had 8 disposals up until then, just 8. Now, there was a hell of a lot more that went on. Port smashed him with clearances. Rochelle talked the talk but couldn't walk the walk, and Port with a better side.
Not for the whole quarter. Eventually they were. They kept their focus, and you make really good points. There's so much hysteria about the Dan Houston Rankin clash.
Yep.
But by the letter of the law, it was a fair bump. you're allowed. You still are allowed to bump. Now the AFL have been slack on this because they haven't outlawed the front on bump. They've had a decade to do it. We've had a decade where people getting hit up the front have been badly hurt. Now it's the simple thing. If you bump in the front plane, the front of the body, it's a free. Like it's a push in the back, pushing the back. It's
shirt
a free
front
kick.
out.
You cannot bump somebody up the front. Now that he didn't do anything wrong by the letter of the door, but when of course the outcome was so catastrophic that when he hit the head, when the head hit the ground, he's knocked out, and that's a really bad look, and that's why he's going to be suspended. But that's probably why the umpires, not one of the 4 umpires, paid
no
a
free kick.
No free kick.
But I don't want to perhaps tap into that performance just yet on the umpires.
The umpire.
Whoa!
I've seen days this week.
I've seen bad performances, but that was the highlight of the year for them, as in bad highlight. Let's go to Port Noarlunga. G'day, Steve.
How you going, guys? I'll have a crack at the umpires. Don't you? I'll start off. But the first thing, and don't take this super personally, Tim or Warren, because he's not there today. But the initial comments that you guys made when the bump happened, maybe that was maybe count to 5 before you say stuff like that. But just and I'm an Adelaide supporter. But just going on to the umpiring and I cannot believe for 1 second how that incident with Lockie Jones, they didn't call that a free kick tunnelling. That was, and there's 4 of them sitting around and we can call things. Surely somebody saw something that actually worked out, well, no, you can't tunnel a bloke while you're in midair. That was probably as bad a decision that I've seen the whole year. And look, I think Dan Houston definitely had the opportunity to tackle, and he knew it. He made the wrong decision. But the look of a tunnel is just as bad, and it was only by the grace of God that Lockie Jones didn't break his neck. That one deserved scrutiny, and I'm dead set. And I think it was Riley Thilthorpe who later, and again I'd say the same thing. He's probably a ball player. You're in the moment, and gee whiz, I'd take that split second back again. But and for goodness sake, everybody, just calm down. Let's be thankful that Australian rules football at the highest level, you can have supporters can go comfortably to a game and sit with each other. Not like in the Premier League, or as I remember the First Division when I was in the UK, you had to herd the opposing fans away on buses with police escorts. So everybody, and don't compare Rankins. What happened with Rankin, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, well, fair enough. Although I understand the family got evicted because the son punched the Power mascot.
Really?
Yeah, ended up with a blood nose.
I was at Channel 7 today, and they were following it up there. So, 13.
Yeah, they're following that up now.
Apparently, punched the mascot.
Wow.
And the mascot got a blood nose.
You did, yeah.
How would you know? You wouldn't see it.
Yeah, that's picking on mascots.
Poor old Tommy Thunder.
What is it?
Was that you, Timmy?
Tommy Thunder.
What's a thunder?
Tommy Thunder.
What's a thunder?
Let's go to Emily at Milan. G'day, Emily.
Oh, hi, Tim. How you going?
Good, Em.
That's good. Look, I just want to make the comment on what David Penberthy said this morning on his radio show. I don't listen to his show, but I saw it on Facebook. He said that Port supporters were making, and I quote, deafening boos towards Rankin as he lay motionless on the field. Now, I went to the game on Saturday. I've still got no voice. But I can tell you that the overwhelming number of Port supporters stood and applauded Rankin as he left the ground. And I'm getting really sick of people like David Penberthy perpetuating this urban myth that Port supporters are somehow subhuman, that we have no moral compass. It makes me furious. And he stirred the pot this morning. He needs to take that back. Those boos, there was so much going on the ground at that time. Those boos, number one, when Jason Horne-Francis got the free, the crowd, Crow supporters were not happy about that. And number two, there was a fight. There was fights going on. People were booing for all sorts of reasons. So for him to say that Port supporters were making deafening boos at a man who was lying motionless on the ground is absolute rubbish, and it actually has just riled me up big time. And I just want to say, good on you, Port Adelaide. You played a beautiful game of football on Saturday night, and I hope you go all the way.
Well, Emily, you sound like one of the sensible ones, one of the nice ones.
Well,
we can't say that about all of them, to be quite frank.
Well, you couldn't say that about all
Graham,
supporters.
I understand that, but there are jerks in every single club.
Right.
Let's face it.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well done.
Thanks, Emily. Good call in the running for that $50 Powers voucher.
Definitely. Keep your calls coming in. Cornsey will take them all the way up to 5 o'clock. It is our Monday footy review. 8223 0000 is the number. Also, if you'd like to head to the Royal Adelaide show, luckily all the way through the week here on 5AA, we have opportunities to head along, and we have a double pass right now in our hot little hand. If you'd like to have them, call in 8223 0055. We'll play Timmy's quiz straight after we check your traffic.
G'day there at Modbury. Multi-vehicle smash on North East Road at Reservoir Road. Oakton, burst water main, Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. And a breaking down truck causing really big delays at Trop Park at the moment. It's on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Speeds are reduced. That's why she's super slow. Cameras today, Bundy's Road, North Adelaide and Church Terrace at Walkerville. More Dad Gives for Less at BW. Is your dad a Dadalorian? Get the Star Wars Dadalorian tee from only $15. Get more for less at Big W. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Get your taste buds tingling Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. as SA super chefs Callum Han and Themis Crucidas present On the Menu. Hawker-style food has arrived at Madame Hanoi. 12 till 2 p.m. Saturdays only. Madame Hawker at Madame Hanoi. Book now.
Whether you're moving house, moving materials or moving people, calling Budget Car and Truck Rental is always your best move. Our huge range of vehicles make any move smooth, with trucks, vans, cars, utes, hybrids, 12 to 25-seater buses and more. Find your nearest Budget in the Adelaide CBD, Salisbury, Clemzig, Wingfield, Marston, Morfett Vale or the airport. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Get to the good stuff. Call 13 27 27 or visit budget.com.au.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip, and now there's Barossa Mazda, Murray Street, Nuriotpa. It's SA's newest Mazda dealership, and it's having its first clearance sale. Save thousands on new and demo Mazda CX-5, BT50, CX-30, CX-60. In fact, the whole Mazda range. Experience the difference in the Barossa with outstanding service, a great range of vehicles, state-of-the-art new facility, and you'll see why Barossa Mazda is well worth the trip. barossamazda.com.au.
This is a great night. Experience an iconic night of greyhound racing at the 2024 Nationals on this Saturday at Angle Park. Now, with best chasers from Australia and New Zealand contesting 2 Group 1 national finals.
Yeah, it promises, Timmy, to be a great night of action-packed racing, made even better if you book yourself into the Chasers restaurant with a special dinner and drinks package.
I'll tell you what, if getting up close is more your thing, get trackside and enjoy live music, food vans, bars, free kids entertainment. It's going to be a cracking night.
Yeah, and general admission is with just a gold coin donation. Very cheap night out. Gates open at 5:30 p.m.
Get on down there. For more on the 2024 Nationals on this Saturday, Angle Park, visit greyhoundracingsa.com.au, and don't let the game play you. Stay in control and gamble responsibly.
Hey mate, I need a couple of 2x4s and 4x6s moved down over here.
Mate, why are you yelling?
Sorry mate, I'm just used to it.
There's no need to yell. In fact, there's no need to do much at all thanks to the all-new electric excavator by Volvo. With no noise and no emissions, there's really no worries. Inquire today through Warren Mining and
enjoy the sound of silence!
Hey guys, did you know that all Austrac Campus hybrids are built for all Australian conditions because they include Pettis shock absorbers and Timkins bearings?
Austrac Campus!
Thanks to Solar Heart, smart savings are in the air and on your roof. By replacing your old water heater with a Solar Heart heat pump, you can create hot water out of thin air. And with our smart solar power systems and trusted Solar Heart warranties, you'll turn sunshine into savings for years to come. Right now, you'll also save $500 on any Solar Heart heat pump or solar power system 5 kilowatts and above. That's right, $500 off heat pumps and solar power. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
9 minutes to 5. Treaders coming up after 5 here on our Monday footy review with Campo and Timmy G. And right now, Cornsey taking your calls for BL Shipway 8223 0000. We'll get back to your footy calls in just a moment. But right now, we want to get you to the Royal Adelaide Show, which is coming up. And we're looking forward to this. You can book your tickets at theshow.com.au and Foodland as well. But we have doubles to give away all week here on The Drive Show. And Timmy, we have 2 callers on the line. How this is going to work, Sam from Mount Barker and Angelo from Salisbury Heights are going to play off your higher or lower quiz. Whoever takes turns and gets the correct answer after a while wins the tickets.
Yeah, correct, Sam. You get first go at it because you won the toss. Congratulations. And,
thanks, mate.
And Angelo's going, what toss? Okay, Sam, the question is, Rashid Khan has decided to opt out of the BBL this year. How many wickets did he take for the Adelaide Strikers? Now, Sam, it's between 90 and 110. Go.
I'll go 101.
101. Okay, Angelo. It is.
Yeah, how you going there, Timmy?
Good, buddy. It is lower than 101.
98.
Oh, Angelo, you're a freak. Congratulations, mate. You are done and dusty. Go on the Royal Adelaide Show.
Awesome.
You got a double
That's
pass,
awesome.
mate. Well done.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That was brutal on spur old Sam. He was looking forward to a bit of to and fro.
Come next time, eh?
And, oh, look at that.
It was a second serve, and then he just whipped it straight back down the line, wasn't it?
Caught that. It was about 215k. Whack, straight down the line.
Well done. So a double pass to the Royal Adelaide Show. If you're ready to go, it's time for the Royal Adelaide Show at theshow.com.au and Foodland is where you can book tickets.
Cornsey, I did see one of your points on your list, that the send-off rule, yes or no. We had a discussion about this some time ago. What's your thoughts?
Well, you can't leave it to the umpires because they've
got no problems.
You might send a guy off and he gets cleared at the tribunal.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
And they might overreact.
There's too much grey in the game already.
There is, and you could say, well, okay, we'll leave it to the guys upstairs doing the video review, but even then they can still get it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we've never had it. I know it was in the VFA, I think, at one stage, or the
Amateur League here has
it.
a send-off rule, but it has to be pretty horrible and blatant, and then they can give you a red card, I believe.
I don't think we can trust it.
I think you're on the money there, Graham. Geez, you've been good. You might get the $50 powers voucher. Let's go to Kent Town. G'day, Peter.
Hey, boys. How you going?
Good, buddy.
That's good. Look, just my take on the whole situation. Look, Dan Houston, he's a really good player. But in the context of the whole thing, I blame the AFL. I blame the umpires. They pay free kicks for hands on shoulders. If that controlling umpire, number 29, had any nous to pay a free and possible 50 when the incident happened, because it happened right in front of him, who knows what would have happened, because the ensuing contest, the ball came out and Horn Francis takes a mark, and after 10 minutes, when everything was, after all the scuffles and whatnot, Horn Francis got the ball, and I had to rewind it and see how that actually happened.
Yep.
And if they had any control and paid a free and possible 50, then
what would the free have been for?
Well, based on what the AFL are due.
But by the letter of the law, he's allowed to bump as long as it's not above the head.
Yeah, well, look, I get that, Graham. As everyone's saying, or maybe he had the option to tackle. I know it's split second.
He did.
But if you have a look at what Luke Parker got in the VFL 6 weeks, what Rankin got 4 weeks. I know it was off the ball, but I think AFL are to blame, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's definitely confusion. Until they ban the bump on the front, up the front completely, there's going to be confusion. But I think both the Parker one and the Isaac Rankin one were off the ball. But Isaac Rankin actually had the ball, so you're allowed to tackle or bump. Now, the coach, surely by this stage, is instructing his players to tackle. under no tackle because obviously if you ride the bump, you can escape with the ball, but.
And any concussion, you're in trouble.
And he obviously, and this is going to cost Port Adelaide badly because he's one of their most important players.
Very good player. Let's go to St Agnes. G'day, Dennis.
Yeah, how you going? Graham Corns. The first showdown was on a Friday night. Yeah. On the Sunday morning, Sunday Advertiser, Sunday Mail, you wrote a very scathing article. You said Port Adelaide had no underbelly and Port Adelaide were no chance of the finals. I'm just wondering if you changed your mind now, mate.
The first showdown?
Yeah.
That would definitely change my mind now.
Yeah, very scathing article.
I think you got him, Dennis.
I definitely changed.
It was a very scathing article, Cornsy, I tell you.
Well, it's allowed to be after that performance.
Yeah, I thought we were better than what we showed that night. Anyway.
Well, I can only go on what I saw. What did you... Where were you one of the ones who booed Kenny after that loss about 8 weeks ago?
No, sir.
Okay, well, I wonder how many people thought the same then 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played,
Dennis.
Graham,
for apologising.
Running
You don't get that often, do you?
Yeah, no.
But you're right, though. You can only ride on what you see at that point in time, and it's probably fair enough.
It's going to be interesting. Can they beat Fremantle?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they can, but ultimately, you talk about one of your points we're not going to get to. What motivates a team? Yeah. FIVEAA's got way more to play for than Port from a mental, subconscious point of view.
But Port playing at home would be a big plus.
Absolutely.
Who brought you here?
David Shipway.
Did he?
BL Shipway. I've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953. Great company, great guy. You love doing business with them. They're even bigger and better at their new location. BL Shipway, they're on Morford Road at Camden Park. Plenty of space to get your trucks in and your parking there. If you can't go to them, they can send a van to you, Ryco 24/7 van to you for all your hydraulic and pneumatic needs. Thank you so much, Shippy, and thanks, boys, for having me.
Excellent work, Hornsey. Love your work every Monday. We have Treaders coming up after the 5 o'clock news. Stay with us.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Now's the time to get into your new Mazda with great drive-away deals across the range. Experience the agile Mazda CX-3 Sport from $29,990 drive away. Or enjoy the versatile Mazda CX-5 Max, now from $37,990 drive away. There's a perfect Mazda waiting for you. Visit your local dealer and drive away today. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See Mazda.com.au for details.
Phantom Screens are the only manufacturer that make outdoor blinds up to 12 metres long. More than enough for an outdoor entertainment kitchen, a mini golf course, a herd of mountain goats, and the 190B bus to Mitcham. Since 1995, Phantom Screens have been improving homes with top quality, powder-coated, aluminium-framed, retractable screens. Whatever space you have, there's a Phantom Screen for you at phantomscreens.com.au.
Hey, Camper, how good's a mate when he's got a ute or a van, the ones you need to look after, but they can't promise to always have them when you need them.
Yeah, that's why Avis Truck Rental Adelaide is the best mate you can have. When you call Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, you don't get a computer to talk to you. You get Matthew.
Oh, good on you, Matty.
Yeah, 18 years in the industry. He runs the depot and knows exactly what vehicles are available. And is more than happy to discuss the right vehicle that suits your needs.
Now, whether you're moving house, picking up something from Bunnings or planning a family road trip, Avis Trucks Adelaide has you covered. Now, you just got to ask for this. You just look at them, Camper, and you give them the old wink, and you go, can I have the 5AA fixed price, please?
Yeah, but you've also got to trust your mate, Matthew's your man, at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, open 7 days at 416 Port Road, West Hindmarsh. Book online at avis.com.au or call 8241 5200.
Get cashback rebates on energy-saving appliances with Mac Trade Services. Receive up to $600 on eligible fridges, freezers or dryers, thanks to the South Australian Government REPS rebate. Simply buy an eligible appliance and complete the rebate claim form on our website. Visit mactradeservices.com.au or your local Harvey Norman store today.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers tonight down to 13, showers tomorrow 18. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
There's no gong for David Spears in the Lib's new look shadow ministry. His successor Vincent Tarzia unveiled his front bench today, while the former leader spends some time away from the party, holidaying overseas. Matt Cowdrey is no longer the money man, Sam Telford taking on Treasury as well as local government. Mr Tarzia says it's a fresh new team.
I'm really proud of our new Shadow Cabinet team. I know that this is going to be a very balanced team, a team that balances both youth and experience. I think it's a match-winning team, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of my colleagues to make sure that we really take it to Labor at the 2026 state election.
Court today for a 51-year-old man arrested after an investigation into stalking offences. Police alleging one of the offences occurred at the Marion Shopping Centre, where the suspect gave a woman a letter offering her a fake scholarship with a government agency. The suspect had allegedly also harassed the woman at her workplace several times during the past few weeks. Investigations are continuing. Legislation forcing the scandal-plagued CFMEU into administration will be voted on in the Senate today. The federal government and opposition have struck a deal to pass the bill after days of negotiations. There will now be lifetime bans for corrupt officials and a minimum administration period of 3 years. Workplace Minister Murray Watt says it's a good step forward.
The time for corruption, criminality, violence and bikies in Australia's construction union and the industry is coming to an end. Today is another big step forward towards making sure that we have a clean construction union in Australia and a clean construction industry.
Long COVID cost Australia's economy almost $10 billion in 2022 as sufferers struggled to get back into regular work patterns. The research found up to 1.3 million Australians were estimated to be living with long COVID at the time. Most workers affected by the condition were aged from 30 to 49. Infectious diseases physician and microbiologist Professor Paul Griffin says long COVID is hard to manage and even diagnose.
We don't have a simple blood test, and even in people who meet the criteria and get diagnosed, we don't have a great way of recording it. So we really don't know the magnitude of this problem. But what's really clear is it's very significant. It's being underappreciated, and at the moment there's little we can do for it.
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds remain the kings of the Aussie box office. Deadpool and Wolverine added another $4.5 million in takings over the weekend. It's now the highest grossing film of 2024 so far in Australia. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Take sporting entertainment to the next level at Sporties in the Arkaba Hotel, Adelaide's home of live sport.
Well, there's plenty of fallout from Showdown 56. Crow Isaac Rankin has entered concussion protocols after Saturday's collision with Port's Dan Houston, so he won't be available for their final game of the year this weekend. Lockie Murphy giving an update on his teammate today.
There's no other injuries associated with it, just a concussion, so hopefully he's on the mend and feeling better and in and around the club in the next couple of days.
Houston is facing up to a 5-game ban. He'll front the AFL tribunal tomorrow night. Rankin wasn't the only person a little worse for wear after the local derby. Port's mascot Thunder was punched in the face by a teenager during the showdown, giving the man inside a blood nose. While Port's Willie Rioli has been the victim of a racial attack online, assistant coach Tyson Goldsack says it's pathetic.
It's people that obviously get some sort of kick out of doing it, but the hurt that it causes for people is too much for it to be worth it.
Still on footy, and Richmond star Shai Bolton might be playing his last game for Richmond this weekend. The 25-year-old has reportedly told the Tigers he wants to be traded. And Black Caviar's last foal has died just days after the champion sprinter also passed away. The colt had been receiving round-the-clock care but couldn't be saved. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help make a real difference to young lives. Register today for Operation Flinders City to Summit this September.
G'day there at Trott Park. A broken down truck on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Heavy delays both directions, mostly due to people rubbernecking. Modbury multi-vehicle smash on North East Road at Reservoir Road, and a burst water main at Oakton. Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. Slow for works at Blair, Main Road near Laffers Drive, and we're busy at Unley Road near Clyde Street for works. Got a camera to McGill Road to McGill. Honda's mid-size SUV clearance is now on. Get 8 years warranty and roadside assist, plus a $1,000 fuel card on 23 built Honda ZRV and CRVs. Hurry now, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers tonight down to 13, showers tomorrow 18, Wednesday showers 18 and the same on Thursday. Right now it's 17 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Brackless. Tonight, a fan's racist sledge towards Port's Willie Rioli during the heated showdown. How to take advantage of a battle for your business being waged by credit cards. Only on 9. The extraordinary story of hidden treasure found buried beneath a family home. And meet the Adelaide librarians who become unlikely internet celebrities. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
What was it Auntie Pam would say? When I arrive at the pearly gates, I want to pull up with nothing left in the tank and also sideways.
Aunt Pam was a character. You could hear her laugh from miles away.
I'll never forget weekends at that beach shack of hers.
And her interesting decorations.
You know, I've never met anyone who could be so late all the time. She managed to show up on time today, though. 10 points.
See you around, Aunt Pam.
A unique life deserves a distinctive funeral. distinctivefunerals.com.au.
Specsavers do hearing aids. That's surprising. But here's the real surprise. Our prices on high-tech hearing aids are also surprisingly low. Visit us online and compare today. Specsavers for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
7 minutes after 5 here on this Monday. It is all about the showdown. 8223 It's our Monday footy review. Still to come. We'll speak to both the Crows and Port Adelaide with Lockie Murphy and Tyson Goldsack to break it all down for us. More Royal Show tickets to give away. Hugh Bowman ahead of a new documentary coming out, A Horse Named Winks. It'll be fantastic. And of course, all your calls for that $50 Pals voucher. 8223 the number if you haven't got it in your phone already. Let's welcome in on the Foodland live stream Treaders.
Throws it up long, goal clear, Treadray!
Warren Treadray.
The Premiership Cup to the captain, Warren Treadray. Oh, Treadray! Party time!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, each and every Monday and Friday, Warren Treadray joins the sports show. Hello, Warren.
Hey,
what have you
boys.
been up to?
What have you been talking about?
Not much.
It's been quiet.
The ladder.
Yeah, the ladder, which
it's a good thing to talk about.
Definitely in place. But gee, the ramifications just keep rolling on.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the big incident, aren't we?
Yeah.
And the reality is, I've got a few haters on social media saying my initial reaction was, whoa, got him, didn't know who it was. Someone went flying, then it all erupted. Oh, he's a board member, this was premeditated. I couldn't have heard anything more ridiculous in my life. You think that a coach or a club sends players out there to scun people? No. Ridiculous. So let's reiterate, this is a competitive instinct match. Clearly, instead of tackling, chose to bump. Fine line. Sadly, a player gets injured, subbed out of the game. And as I said at the time, I reckon, did the AFL get it right into their, they called it reckless. I was adamant that that's right. High. I've looked at vision and can't see how he conclusively hit him in the head, but that will be sorted out in time. And it is severe contact. So reality is it's off to the tribunal and we'll know in the next, 24, 48 hours where it sits. Not ideal, though. But I think the game had everything. On the positive side, a team who was, 14th, 15th, Adelaide, threw everything at Port, had their opportunities to really win it. Don't think they handled the post-Houston Rankin incident well. I think gave away, Fogarty gave away 50, which was a 45-metre set shot, walk in the goal square. Got caught probably fighting, flying the flag too long. But I thought the game had absolutely everything. Ridiculous celebrations inside in the crowd. Josh Rosselli didn't like that, loved his goal. I walk away at the game and, I'm a Port man. I've gone, wow, we've got a fair rivalry here. So what's the impact now on, obviously, we hope Dan's okay as well, because this is the person that's in it as well, and having been through some of those things with players and those sort of things, it's a tough time for him as well. So, what's the ramifications, I guess, for Port's finals now, Treaders? He's an important player in terms of where and what he's been able to deliver, particularly over the last couple of years. He's arguably been your best player.
Yeah, he has. All-Australian last year. I think he's be giving it a shake this year. His form's been phenomenal. You go, well, who do we probably least one of the players you least want to lose? Let's be fair, because if you lost a Butters, which would be Hughes or a Horn Francis or a Rosie, you still got other midfielders. But yes, you got Burton who'll come into that role half-back flank. But Houston's last year was the best in the comp at it, and opposition spend a lot of time going, hey, do we tag him? Do we play through him? And he doesn't, you look at time and space on the football, there's probably arguably no better player in Port's list to make the right decision at the right time. So it's someone we don't want to lose, but reality is, I think, he's going to be missing for a few weeks.
Well, he's in the AFL for he's top 5 in the AFL, not for Port, top 5 in the AFL for inside 50s and rebound 50s. That's a great combination that you have, and he's such a beautiful kick of the football, and we've seen him over a long period of time. He gets the ball there quick and flat and gives the opposition defenders something to deal with. So he's a big out.
And he's kicked 7 goals for the year, too.
And the other thing too, Trent, is like even emotionally, what does that do for the club and the group as well? I mean, we heard Ken, in terms of he's obviously well respected and liked around the footy club. When a pivotal player comes out of your side, not only from a performance point of view, but I guess a leadership and those sort of things, and I would suggest he'd be a leader in that back seven down there. So that's a big out going into a final series.
Different correlation to me, sorry, quickly, just on that. Andrew Gaff 2018.
Yeah.
Different incident, and all that, but he was an All-Australian that year and missed, and they went on to win the flag. So maybe that's part of the sell. I don't know, but just off the top of my head, yeah. But you don't ever have a team around rely on one player for you to fall apart. But it's going to be a test of depth. It's going to be a test of confidence.
But your good players
they help that. They help that. And they get you out of the pickle a lot of times. And he's a guy who makes wonderful decisions at the right time, bar this instance.
Well, we're taking your calls on 8223 0000 Showdown 56. Para Hills, g'day, Josh.
G'day, fellas. I want to talk about leading up to the game. Not once, not twice, but 4 times Josh had taunted an entire fan base and incited them. And at the time I thought it was fantastic, because I thought that alone will sell at least an extra 6,000 tickets, because people are just going to go there just to voice their opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The game happened, the incident happened. After the game, whatever. But I want to ask you guys, do you think this state is mature enough for that sort of build-up to a showdown? Because I don't think we are.
Some fans are. I'll answer that straight away. I think a lot of people, 2,000 people were there the other night.
Third biggest showdown crowd ever.
I reckon you could draw it down to about 500 people who are probably thinking they can act like animals at a field. And we've seen that, Rioli's been vilified, both online, and he's obviously, I think, being investigated for allegedly sticking the bird up to a fan member. I'm not sure if that's linked. Rochelle, I thought his action had the potential to incite a bit of crowd anger. I get the celebration. I did as many stupid celebrations as anyone, but I never ran at the crowd and insulted people. And I think he'd have his time again. He probably wouldn't do it. So you don't want to shoot the young player. I don't know. But I think the key is constant. But the key is, for me, you got to learn from it, because the last thing we want to do is see what happens in England when they lose control of crowds. You're separated. I thought want that. Everything about the weekend's game. Yes, there was a collision on the field that polarised opinion. Got that. Rochelle's polarised opinion, right? But if we start tipping into the racial abusing fans and all that, we're bound to the minority, the stupidity of the world, and it's up to us as footy fans to uphold the standards, because the last thing we want to do, if the AFL's really serious, you might actually pull Rochelle in via Adelaide and say, hey, this is not what we want. We love you celebrating, but we're not here to incite fans or incite, that hatred and that stuff that we've tipped over, where I think Thunderpower's copped a clip as well.
Yeah, so Rory Laird, one of the leaders of the Crows, has spoken on SEN Radio this afternoon about the club addressing Josh Rochelle's comments.
We haven't really engaged in any of that sort of talk in the last couple of years, and where there has been opportunities to, and
we all know that Josh is, engaged in this before in terms of some of the stuff he does on field, and he's, a big celebrator and is just a very passionate guy, I think. And he sort of come out and said there was a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, but it is something we try and shy away from.
What do you make of that, Campo?
I said it on air on the game. You call me old school. It's not about being old school. It's about... I look at it from an environmental type thing in and around a footy club. I coached Rory Laird for a long period of time. There's more to that than meets the eye.
Yeah,
if Rory Laird's saying that publicly, I would say behind closed doors...
Because he drives pretty high standards, my understanding.
Absolutely. And Lairdy's not that type of player either. And I'm not saying that we need to sit here and be robots and what Nixie said in the press. I'm 100% with that. I love celebrations. I love all those things. But I look at guys like Eddie Betts and these guys that celebrated with their teammates around what they were able to do to get him, or his pure skill around the game and kicking the goal. So that's what we're after. But I agree to a certain extent with you, Treaders, around inciting those sort of things. Now, there's two elements to it. So has he been spoken to internally by the coaching group and the senior leadership group? We've got Lockie Murphy coming on. Maybe we can ask him that question directly. And if he has, and I'd be staggered if he hasn't, because I'm not sure Taylor Walker and I'm putting words in those guys' mouths, but I know them pretty well. What it does indirectly is it puts more pressure on the playing group as well. So it might be okay for Josh, but what's it doing to the rest of the playing group in terms of how they handle it? Because they might not be comfortable with that. So once again, it comes down to, are you about the team or is it about the person? So if you're happy to do that and put your neck out there and you're willing to get your head knocked off, well, that's fine. But I think it's more than that. It's about what the playing group accept and what the coaching group accept. Now, if they've said yes, go for it, well, that's a different scenario. But if they've said no and he's continually to do it, then there's an issue there for mine.
Okay. Great insight there from you, Campo. Thank you. Let's go to North Haven. G'day, Dave.
Trev and Timmy, how you going, mate?
Hey, Dave.
Listen, don't cut me off. I want to say a few points, but just listen to me for a minute, yeah?
Yep.
When you started playing football, you were told you can use the hip and shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He never used the elbow. He used just he tucked his shoulder in. He did not hit his head. With the AFL say don't hit the head, which he didn't do.
Yep.
And he actually pulled out the last split second he hit him. He didn't go through him. Yeah. The ball was in play. And you're told to use your hip. It hasn't been outlawed yet. Now listen to this. Now if this was Collingwood or Carlton, they'll be going to court, the Supreme Court, which will go after the grand final. We've got 60,000 members, say. Everyone gives $10 each. Let's get the best lawyer. What's $10 now? You can't buy 2 cups of coffee for that. Another thing I was going to say. Listen to this now. Let's say, Timmy, you played a lot of football, you too, Treaders. You're running with the ball, yeah?
Yep.
I'm going to tackle you, yeah? You shake your hips and knock me to the ground. I knock myself out. So are you responsible?
I hope not.
See? You know what I'm saying? Oh. So you shake me off your hips and I hit the ground, knock myself out. So who's going to pay the consequences? You know, what's this game going to?
Yep.
I mean, he hit the ground.
Dave.
He wasn't knocked out till he hit the ground, and he didn't go straight through him. He pulled back even. He shoulder to shoulder it was. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I understand your frustration, Dave. But
Graham Corns came on earlier and said he hasn't done anything wrong to the letter of the law.
Well, that's the way everyone's going, well, if it was so bad, why wasn't a free kick paid? Well, like, what free kick did he pay? Did he get him high? I don't think he did, but the umpire didn't think he did. What other rule did he break?
I think the assumption
But what other rules? There's no other rule he's broken.
That's everything's outcome-based nowadays, isn't it? Everything's outcome-based.
And the reality is the AFL have said, effectively, you choose to bump, you take the risk.
Now, the question will be tomorrow night, the first thing, did you have another choice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have another choice in that situation? And the answer, unfortunately, is yes, I could have tackled him.
But this is the thing. You could do the same thing, Timmy. Launch with your arm out, your point of your shoulder could hit him in the point of the shoulder, knock him out.
Like an NRL tackle.
And you're a chance to get off. Chance to get off because you've knocked him out, but you haven't made contact with the head, and your intent is to tackle.
Yeah, I think
that's what it comes down
to.
From
Dave's point of view, he's going, where's the game going?
That's where it's going, Dave.
I'm not sure
it's gone there.
I'm not sure that's apples for apples, though. the bump versus
No,
you
no.
running down the wing.
No,
getting
no,
tackled
no.
or whatever.
No, if you
But
intend
yes.
to bump, even a shepherd, and you get a bloke high and clean
Yeah.
them up, we know that.
But we know that.
Yeah,
That's the point.
And they
We know that. That's
Again,
the rules.
Not our thoughts, but the thoughts of the AFL. They changed the rules after the Maynard incident.
Potential to cause harm.
and because we saw last week,
Once there is any head damage, they're going to go after you.
insurance companies have pulled it on blokes who've got multiple concussions.
And to Dave's point, when I played footy and when I grew up playing footy, it's not the same game.
No, it isn't. And you used to get knocked out, Timmy, and then doctors would be a yo clay and you can run back again. It's changed a lot.
Let's
hasn't
go
it?
to Carmine. G'day, mate.
Oh, g'day, fellas. Look, most of the things I wanted to talk about have been mentioned, but the one that still stuns me is why the AFL doesn't put the showdown as a standalone game every year, the two showdowns. It's ridiculous. We need to have like whether it's a Thursday night or a Friday night, but make it a standalone game so that everybody can see it, because it's such a great, spectacle.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't they wake up?
It's the broadcasters that pick it.
Yeah, I think it was
So it's not
Thursday
the-
night. The first
it's not the-
showdown this year was a Thursday
Yeah,
night.
but I don't reckon it was
Friday.
standalone.
No, this year it was.
This
Was
year
it
it was
standalone?
standalone
Was there a
on
game later than
Thursday.
Perth?
It's
First
never
time.
been a standalone on Friday.
Last
Yeah.
year they had a double header,
Yes.
That's
which was
right.
in
Yeah.
Perth. Yeah,
But that's the bit. It's not the AFL. It is the broadcasters that bid for the games. And if free to air want it, Channel 7 will say, yeah, we will take it. But no, they decided for what was the other game, which was a ripper between St Kilda and Geelong.
Yeah.
And that would have rated higher in Melbourne, 2 Victorian clubs.
Keep having your say. Treaders is here taking your calls, 8223 0000. And just some quick breaking news in that last 10 minutes. Ben Brown from the Melbourne Footy Club has announced his retirement at season's end. So another one who's put the boots up for their career. Let's check your traffics out there. Get unique pies, sausage rolls and donuts from your local independent supermarket. It's unique and it's time for something better.
Got a few passing showers. Take it easy on wet roads in the drive home. Look out for breaking down truck at Trot Park. It's on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Got super heavy delays at the moment, mostly due to people having a gander. So keep that in mind if you head that way. Modbury, multi-vehicle smash on North East Road at Reservoir Road. Anabus Watermain at Oakton and Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. Got a camera too, Penfold Road at Wattle Park. Beaumont's Clearance Centre, Richmond is closing. Grab a white vanity and oval basin mixer, not $8.50, cleared for $4.99. Only at Beaumont's Richmond Clearance Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
For the very latest in local footy, tune in to the 5AA Sandful Show each Monday from 6:30pm. It's tradition, it's excitement, and it's beats, eats, and footy fun with your mates. Sandful, nothing beats it.
Don't just send it, ace it.
If your current job is driving you bonkers, get outdoors and hit the road. ACET Transport Solutions is growing and they need more drivers to keep their promise of perfect service. So, if you want a career that'll take you places, get in touch with the team at ACET Transport Solutions. Visit acettransport.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show, 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
How to get Dad off-road with confidence and give him a shot at the ultimate Father's Day gift. Get into TJM and check out their Father's Day sale on now. You could win the old boy or yourself a trip for two to the NRL Grand Final in Sydney with flights, accommodation and an incredible game day experience. Spend $79 or more on TJM products at TJM Ranella or Nailsworth to go in the draw. Head in store now. T's and C's apply.
Now, the biggest threat to your business isn't your competition. Campo. It's cybercrime. Cybercrime threats impacting Australian businesses, large, small, medium, continue to grow year on year.
Yeah, one call to one solution will put your business in a safe place and you can save from the devastating consequences of cybercrime. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make.
Correct. One solution is local as well. So a full-service technology company right here in Adelaide. They offer a diverse range of solutions across IT, telecommunications, phone and mobile systems, cyber security and AI implementation.
Yeah, today more than ever, Timmy, it's important to safeguard your business. Do it properly. Do it with One Solution. Visit onesolution.com.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. The Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
At Simplicity Funerals, we have been keeping funerals simple and easy for over 40 years. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today. Simplicity Funerals. Easy, respectful, simple.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Campo in for Rowie until next Tuesday. We're loving your interaction tonight in our Monday footy review. Treaders is here taking your calls. 8223 0000. Lockie Murphy to join us from the Crows shortly and Tyson Goldsack from Port Adelaide.
Absolutely, we're taking your calls. We got Richard on the line. G'day, Richard.
Good afternoon, boys. Look, I was talking to Graham Corns before I came on air, and he said he got knocked out when his head hit the ground. That may be right. But when I went back and had a quick look at it, and it was very high up, whether he half hit him in the jaw and then hit his head. But I heard somebody say in recently that the umpires, there's four of them there, an umpire, a ruckman, he makes out to tap the ball and he hits somebody's shoulder. It's a free kick. Surely the whole episode would have been fixed if they'd given a free kick to a Crows player because Reagan couldn't take it because he's knocked out, and that would have resolved a lot of the problems. But when it was seen, and I realised that it was a quick kick and Horn Francis marked the ball, but it all would have calmed down a lot quicker if it had been a free kick. Don't you think, Campo?
It's an interesting one because should there have been a free kick? I think we can't guess, but ultimately I think because of the impact, I think we'd only assume that he probably got him high without looking at the replay. And the umpires, once again, have got a split decision as well, haven't they? So I would have thought there was a free kick that was going to be paid. Now,
in the chaos afterwards,
it was.
We probably thought it was coming back.
Well, I actually thought, to be honest, on the night, I actually thought that
there was a turnover.
That there was a free kick based on the fight
melee.
after. Yeah, that's the way I thought. So I didn't actually, because I was looking at what had happened and I didn't see the follow-on play after the ball got spilled when Isaac hit the ground. So I was a little surprised that there wasn't. Now, in hindsight, maybe you could argue the umpires got it right because he didn't get him higher, but ultimately the collision and the impact would suggest, particularly with the way the umpires adjudicate some of the other decisions, that a ticky touch would you there going, well, that's an obvious one. But with the knockout one, what people... I'm not sure whether people understand. You don't necessarily have to get hit in the head to be knocked out.
No, it's a whiplash.
It's your brain rattling inside your, So the speed. I mean, that's for want of a better word, that's like a car. That's like hitting at that speed. I mean, Dan Houston's an elite athlete. That's hard. Like his body is hard. He'd be 90+ kilos, going at a reasonable clip, and Isaac's in a reasonably vulnerable position where he probably couldn't necessarily brace for contact. Now, we've all been in that situation where you know that you red alert and you know that there's probably contact coming, but you can never really because you're trying to grab the ball. So I think he was a little dazed before he hit the ground, and when he hit the ground, that's essentially when he went.
Let's go to Largs Bay. G'day, Matt.
Yeah, how you going, guys? Just quickly, a caller said before 5 o'clock news about the Riley Philthorpe tunnelling thing. That was a horrendous thing that he did there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Lockie Jones is mid-air. If he'd come down and broken his neck or got knocked out, I mean, would there have been a fine for that or a suspension?
Well, it should have been free.
Oh, no, they didn't even pay a free, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He lined him up as well, so that was horrendous. But I was just going to say Dan Houston did do a front-on tackle at speed, because he is 90 kilos or so, and I assume Isaac Rankin's a fair bit lighter, did the whiplash thing and smacked his head on the ground and got him knocked out. Would he have got suspended for that as well?
I think it'd be questionable. I think you'd have a decent chance to really
we had a
challenge
unique
it.
Homestyle Food text on the exact same thing, so thanks for that, Matt. But that's the odd hypothetical.
It is.
We're not sure.
It's interesting how this, as you said, reckless high contact. Body's the one that could potentially bring it down. If you can't conclusively say you hit him in the head, and I know the tribunal's not like a court of law. You've actually got to prove that they've done it. It's almost the other way. You prove you haven't done it. I think that might be interesting. But either way, the AFL's sent it straight to the tribunal for a reason.
It's the severe one. That's the kicker.
That holds all the weight.
Yeah.
There's no predictions from me. Sam,
come
Cardwell.
on, Tim. Get off the fence.
Got the picket
definitely 3 because it's going to the tribunal.
29 minutes to 6. We're going to get to headlines, and Lockie Murphy from the Crows to join us next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. A 2-year-old girl from country SA has been diagnosed with meningococcal disease. There's no room for David Spears in Vincent Tarsia's new shadow ministry. Online retailer Booktopia gets a new owner and resumes trading. And in sport, Melbourne's Christian Petrarca has aired his frustrations with the direction of the club fronting a players-only meeting. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help make a real difference to young lives. Register today for Operation Flinders City to Summit this September.
A few passing showers to take it easy on wet roads on the drive home, and look out for a crate at Camden Park. It's on Stonehouse Avenue near Anzac Highway. Another collision at Modbury, Northeast Road at Reservoir Road, and a burst water main to look out for at Oakton Fosters Road near Hilltop Drive. Slow South Road at Theberton, busy Brighton Road Brighton with a camera McGill Road of McGill. Honda's mid-size SUV clearance is now on. Get 8 years warranty and roadside assist, plus a $1,000 fuel card on 23 built Honda ZRV and CRVs. Hurry now, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast: showers tonight down to 13, showers tomorrow 18. Right now it's 17 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Are you ready to go?
It's showtime!
It's time for the Royal Adelaide Show, and it's time to celebrate our state, our people and our produce. 5AA wants to get you and the family to the Royal Show to enjoy everything it has to offer, from rides, animals, wood chopping, Dagwood dogs and of course the fireworks. Keep listening to 5AA all across the day for your chance to win money can't buy tickets. The Royal Adelaide Show, August 31st till September 8. Book tickets at theshow.com.au and Foodland.
CMAX Clinical Research is seeking healthy participants to help trial a potential new treatment for primary biliary cholangitis. Your involvement could impact millions globally. You could be eligible for this trial. Call CMAX today if you're aged 18 to 65 and have no significant health concerns. You'll be paid for your time and contribution to help advance medical research. Want to know more about the study? Head on to cmax.com.au and look for the PBC study. That's cmax.com.au.
Did you know you can kickstart your adventure even sooner in an Austrac camper with Austrac Finance? Call 1800 797 797 and get your free quote today.
Austrac Campers.
Whoa, hold your horses. If you are going to decide anything on solar, take a moment to do the research. Now, the money you'll save on energy bills, that's pretty much what we're trying to do. That's a given. We all know that. But I'm talking about the people who own and run the solar company that you're buying from. This is important.
Yep, and look into Exceed Solar, Tim. They're the ones. Long before Exceed Solar were a company, they were climbing on roofs all over South Australia, installing solar panels, inverters and batteries.
You did a bit of that. You were a Sparky,
was a
weren't you?
Sparky.
There you
Yeah. I wouldn't
go.
trust
Well, these
myself
guys
now.
are very, very good at what they do. Yeah, no. Go to Exceed Solar. They've seen it all because they've done it all. And because they're qualified electricians, not salespeople, They know firsthand what will give you the best possible results.
Yeah, and that's the major difference, Tim, between Exceed Solar and the others. They're built on a solid knowledge base, not a hard sell.
You'll love them when you meet them. Great blokes. Get in touch with Exceed Solar. You'll love the experience. Exceed Solar, built on knowledge, not a hard sell. exceedsolar.com.au.
There are more ways the Australian government will be supporting you. All taxpayers now get a tax cut. A $300 electricity bill credit will be given to households, and eligible small businesses will get a $325 credit. We're also making changes to student loans to reduce student debt. Find out about the supports available and how they benefit you at supportingaustralians.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Make the most of your My Aged Care or NDIS funding with Care Alert, a South Australian family-owned company. Enjoy top quality service while benefiting from our 24/7 monitored personal alert system, featuring fall detection and GPS location. It's your ultimate safety solution, and it may be free through My Aged Care or NDIS. Secure your peace of mind today by calling 1300 75 85 95 or visiting carealert.com.au. That's carealert.com.au.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
It's 24 minutes to 6. It's our Monday footy review. We'll get back to your calls in a moment. 8223 0000. Tyson Goldsack to join us from Port Adelaide shortly. But first, let's head to West Lakes.
Well, absolutely, we're going to see one of the leadership group of the Adelaide Crows. Lockie Murphy's on the line. G'day, Lockie.
G'day, guys. How are we?
Oh, look, not too bad, mate. A massive showdown once again. You guys look pretty dangerous, still efficient and dangerous inside 50, especially in that first half.
Yeah, we felt like we executed for significant periods of that first half, and we actually went in with a lead. So. It was an even game in the first half. We probably, as you mentioned, probably got them down a little bit, which was good. And unfortunately for us, we weren't able to continue with that in the second half. And Port got on top of us.
We heard Nixie in the review, and he was sort of talking about key moments and being able to take those. As a leadership group, have you had the opportunity to have a chat about those?
Yeah, we spoke about that stuff this morning, and I think with how even the competition is and the way the games is, it is down to key moments, and obviously there was a pretty big key moment there and in the game in the third quarter, and we reflected on our messaging, and we felt that it was the right messaging at the time when we were coming to the huddle, and unfortunately, ill discipline. In key moments from a wide range of players, and as a collective, probably let us down in the end.
And we heard Rory Laird, Lockie, have a conversation on SEN around Josh Rochelli's sort of, I guess, build-up. Do you want to have a bit of a listen?
Sure.
We haven't really engaged in any of that sort of talk in the last couple of years, and where there has been opportunities to, and we all know that Josh is, engaged in this before in terms of some of the stuff he does on field. He's, a big celebrator and is just a very passionate guy, I think. And he sort of come out and said there was a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, but it is something we try and shy away from.
So I guess from that perspective, two things, Murph. One, how do you feel about what Josh is doing, and what sort of impact does that have on the group, I guess?
Well, yeah, It's a difficult one because we do sort of get told, we don't want robots, we want personalities, and everyone's different. And Josh is a unique character. He plays with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and that's what people love about him. And obviously there's times and there's moments where we'd all like to have back. And I guess the reality was it was a big build-up. It was an emotional week for him and for the footy club. And unfortunately, when it doesn't go our way on the game, there's a bit more talk and a bit more focus on that. So, as a footy club and as a side, the 23 of us just didn't quite get it done in key moments. And I guess, as you guys mentioned, it's been a pretty big week for the footy club and for Port, and the emotion involved in a showdown. And I guess the greatest footy rivalry probably still standing, and seems to never fail to deliver in that aspect.
And most importantly, how's Isaac going? We haven't heard or seen a lot from him. Is he okay?
Yeah, very similar, to be honest. He's still at home. From my understanding, he's on the mend, but still experiencing symptoms and quite clearly in the concussion protocol still, and won't be playing this weekend. But hopefully we'll be able to see him around the footy club at the back end of the week.
Hey, Lockie, we had Grant Corns in earlier. He was disappointed that there was no hard tag on Butters. Was there any sort of run-with roles discussed?
I think that's probably one for next year. As you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't discussing to me as a player or anything, but I'm sure the coaches would go through the pros and cons with that, and obviously on the night the coaches decided to not do it. So, yeah, that's probably one for a coach.
I did like your handball to Josh Rochelle. That was a nice hands. You happy with it?
Set up a goal for us. So
it's beautiful.
Well, if I can help with the score, then that's good.
And
Right.
playing on the wing, Murph, that's a bit of a new role for you.
Yeah, I have sort of prided myself on being able to play multiple positions, and I guess with the makeup of the side at the moment, with Cookie sort of not being there, we just needed that relief winger, and Chase Jones not playing either. So, to be honest, Campo, I didn't mind it. It gets me around the stoppages a bit more, which I got to do a bit last year, and I feel like that's something that comes naturally to me. So, but wherever I get asked to play, I'm happy to do it.
Well, you're being asked to play in Sydney this week, mate, so all the best with it, mate. Go well, try and get a win for the last game.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
That's Lockie Murphy in the leadership group at the Adelaide Crows. There you go. Let's keep the calls rolling, eh?
Yeah.
8223 0000. We've got Lee at Ross Trevor. G'day, Lee.
Good evening, gentlemen. Look, I'm a Crows supporter and member, but this is the first time I've ever been to a Port showdown. So there's an eclectic bunch of us. There was a Port supporter, a Collingwood supporter, and a Crows supporter. I can tell you guys, it was probably one of the greatest games I've been through for a long time. In the public, it's very different to the Crows. The Port Power supporters are much louder. There's also a little bit of a biff and barge, if you know what I mean, when you go to the toilets and go and have a drink. It was fantastic. So congratulations, Port supporters, because they are very much one-eyed supporters. I think the Crow supporters are a little bit more benign. It was just a fantastic night, regardless of everything else that happened.
Thanks very much, Lee. It was a great call. I always like the balanced sort of, what would you say, perspective on things. And the unique homestyle food text, this is Nick. He lives at Grange, and he says, hey guys, I barrack for a Victorian club. I watched the showdown. From my viewpoint, Port supporters cannot defend Houston's action, and Crow supporters cannot say that Houston deliberately went to hurt Rankin. In my opinion, it was a bump that went wrong, and as a result, sadly, Houston may miss a premiership. Cheers, Nick.
Oh,
Hey,
Nick,
you just shut everybody up.
Is that a voucher? Is there a prize for Nick?
That's far too level-headed for a home-style food text line.
Yes, all right. Let's get back. Let's go to Semaphore and speak to Sean. G'day, Sean.
Yeah, g'day, guys. How you going?
Good, buddy. Good, mate.
Yeah, what a great game. I think the thing that everyone's forgetting, and Campo touched on it just before, in regards to the car crash, I think everyone would agree that both players were flat out, running at each other. Now, last year, Rankin was clocked at 36 kilometres an hour, flat out. Now, let's say he's doing 30, and Houston 30. Houston that's 14 metres per second. So he didn't line him up from 14 metres. He had like 3 or 4 metres to make a split-second decision, like 0.3 seconds. Like, come on, nothing like Rankin that, Rankin had 4 metres, 15, the guy was jogging back and Rankin was stationary. Said like a lot more time to make that decision to pull out.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, we watched it a fair few times, Sean, and I'm not sure Rankin was really out of first gear. He took one step
he
probably
was in
towards
the
the ball.
spot.
He was the one that was going the other way. And
Well, that's not what I saw. I saw both players running. for the ball flat out.
No, he's
That's
taken.
what I thought.
He would have taken 3 steps, so he wouldn't have gone any quicker than maybe 5 or 6 kilometres an hour. To be fair, but
Well,
Dan
what was Houston doing?
Sorry, well, Houston
What
was
was
coming the other
Houston-
way with a little bit more head of steam because he predicted what essentially was going to happen. I think ultimately Dan thought that he might have had a play on that ball because it got spoiled.
And it was high in the air
it
for
was
a while.
high in the air, so he was thinking maybe can I get there
At
and
first,
spoil
can
it?
I
Can
get
I
there?
do it? Or those things, but
And then-
and then once Isaac took possession, then I think he's changed his mind. Well, he did change his mind.
And Dan was only about a metre or two away from him,
Correct.
tops, by the time he took possession.
All right, let's get to Christie's Beach. G'day, Shari.
Hey, how are you going? I've just been listening to some of the ideas around the bump and everything. I'm a Port supporter, Port member. Yeah, it's like that Victorian person said. I think it's a bump gone wrong. It looked like he might have had time, but you're right. They're going very fast. And Houston's not like, that's not his personality to totally take someone out. I think my biggest concern is when it comes, they need 8 games, they need this. Is then you see someone like that Maynard from Collingwood who got someone in the throat intentionally and he got away with just a fine. And you sort of go, hang on, that's not fair. And Rankins was off the ball, so not even near the ball or in any sort of contest. So, yeah, it's unfortunate and he will get games and deserves games under the new rules. But I wish they'd be consistent. I really wish they'd be consistent.
Well, good luck with that one, Shari. Yeah, all the best.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
All right.
Thank you for your call,
Yeah,
though, Shari. Really
definitely.
appreciate it. And
Do you-
to Lee and the others, thank you.
Do you want to head to the Adelaide show in a couple of weeks? Oh, you can. We've got tickets to give away once again, another double pass. So you can play higher or lower with Timmy's quiz, 82230055. We'll do that straight after we check your roads out there. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, the custom home, 2-story, split-level specialists.
Afternoon, a few passing showers, so take it easy on wet roads on the drive home. Look out for a multi-car smash at Camden Park, Stonehouse Avenue near Anzac Highway. Another crash at Modbury, North East Road at Reservoir Road, and a boost water main at Oakton, Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive. Slow going at the moment, Unley Road at the Greenhill Road intersection with the camera at Bundy's Road at North Adelaide. Hurry into Dan Murphy's Lagavulin 16-year-old single malt Scotch whisky, 700ml, $159 for members. Ends Wednesday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5AA is inviting you into the studio every afternoon. Head to the 5AA live stream. Thanks to Foodland. Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
You could live the dream in a brand new Scott Salisbury bungalow in Glenelg East with no mortgage, no worries, and $500,000 in the bank. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is back. There are over 10,000 prizes, including $1 million cash, plus luxury vehicles, holidays of a lifetime and more. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14585.
Suzuki is celebrating 40 years of Swift with an all-new Suzuki Swift Hybrid. With enhanced styling, safety and technology, plus a very swift hybrid engine. It means that the fun can last forever. So book a test drive today in Australia's best value hybrid, the all-new Suzuki Swift Hybrid, for fun's sake.
Here's a true SA family business, Tim. ACET Transport Solutions, with brothers, sisters, cousins, all being part of it. But it's not just a family. They look after the community as well.
Oh, absolutely. They are brilliant. Been down there, walked through the whole place. Feel like I'm on a first-name basis with everybody. It is incredible. And look, not only do they look after your deliveries, they support over 25 local sporting clubs. How good's that?
No, it's amazing for the community. They also work with and support the Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation. With support from Breakthrough, ACET Transport Solutions have created a happy and a positive workplace, which is probably why they're the fastest growing courier service in SA.
Correct, and that's why right now they need more drivers. So if you have a 1 or 2 tonne van or a 1 tonne ute, kickstart an amazing career with ACET Transport Solutions. Give them a call today. They're brilliant.
The Advertiser is giving you the chance to win your dream international cruise to one of 5 incredible destinations thanks to Princess Cruises. Buy the paper today to find the daily code word. Go to winwithnews.com.au. Conditions apply. SAT 24/1060.
Today I'm talking to Tracy, who's one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi.
Hello, Lee.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
I'm a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years, which is a common issue for my fellow bakers. A friend suggested I tried Arbor Vitae, and I can't believe how well it's worked for me.
What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
It's like a magic potion. I'm able to work with no pain. No stretch of the truth. It's worked so well for me.
Are you happy to recommend Arbor Vitae? And what would you tell our listeners about this product?
Absolutely. And I'd say to them that I felt my pain reside after the second bottle. So if you do try it and don't feel any changes from the first bottle, stick with it. It's also got a great berry-like flavour, which makes it easy to consume.
It's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thank you for your time, Tracy. Remember, for more information, visit arborvitae.com.au, arborvitae.com.au, stocked in chemists and health food stores. And remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Welcome back. Campo sitting in for Rowie this week. It's 10 minutes to 6. Hugh Bowman, champion jockey, is going to join us next. A horse named Winx is a brand new documentary coming to cinemas in September, which we're very much looking forward to. And we'll get to Tyson Goldsack from Port Adelaide in just a moment, and more of your calls as well. But right now, we want to get you to the Royal Adelaide Show because it's time to go. Are you ready? We've got two callers on the line, Timmy. Set up.
Absolutely. Higher or lower. We've got Damien and Paul playing the game. And Damien, you get the first guess. Now, Damien, a horse called Winx. This is what the question is about. Now, it originally sold as a yearling. Now, I'll give you a clue. It was between 200,000 and 300,000. So how much did Winx go for, Damien?
220.
220,000. Thanks, Damien. Let's go to Paul. Paul, it is higher than 220, lower than 300.
221,000.
I'll give you a clue, though. We'll go in tens. It's like an auction. Let's go in tens. No ones.
All right, 260,000.
260. Okay, Damien, it's between 220 and 260.
240.
240. Okay, Paul, it's between 220 and 240.
230.
You didn't have to laugh about it, Paul.
He rubbed it in, didn't he?
Congratulations, mate. You're going to the Royal Adelaide Show. You got a double pass, mate. Well done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much for playing, Damien, as well as Paul. And if you want tickets, go to theshow.com.au and Foodland too.
Yeah, certainly. 8 minutes to 6. Let's chat footy down at Alberton.
Well, Port Adelaide, even the ledger. It's now 28 apiece in showdowns. Quite an incredible record after 56 games. They got up by 22 points. We have the defensive coach on the line, Tyson Goldsack. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
A significant win, not only for the fact that we evened up the ledger, but the scheme of the ladder. It was so important, wasn't it, as to just creating a good opportunity for you come September?
Yeah, it was. When you say you don't look too far ahead, but you know there is lots of games are going to have an impact, and that one was pretty significant for us. So, kind of the way that we went about it in the approach to it, and then the game itself, it was a pretty finals-like intensity, and I think we held up pretty well there. And the result at the end, ladder-wise, is nice.
The intensity and the pressure, I thought, was up there with what it should be in a showdown, where I felt like perhaps in the past ones that we've lost, it hasn't been there, especially early. What I probably most enjoyed was after the incident, and we all know the incident, it was then how you go about playing for the ball that moment onwards. And I felt like our guys showed a level of maturity about that. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think the maturity to get back to business after the incident was really crucial for us. You can stay in that level of heightened emotion for long periods and not be beneficial for you. So I think that the fact that we could get back to it and push on for the rest of the game was a credit to the players.
Yeah, and Tice, I guess the last 7 or 8 weeks you've won 7 of the last 8, which has been outstanding form and beaten some quality teams. Had a little bit of a blip against the Suns, but particularly around the contest and your defence has been something that I've really enjoyed. I mean, the contest one was always a bit of an issue and has been an issue for you guys in the past in big games. You don't have to, as you know, you don't have to win it by 15 or 20, but you've got to be round the mark. But defensively as well, you kept Carlton to 11 points after half-time, Sydney to 36, Melbourne to 51 in a probably dour affair, and you kept Adelaide to 58. That's going to be really important coming into a final series.
Yeah, spot on, Campo. It's kind of, we know contested fight is huge. Like I said, if we can even the ledger there, I think what we do after that we get the contested possessions is pretty crucial and hard to defend. So we'll back ourselves in offensively once we get our hand on the ball, but you just need to be there and continue to turn up where you need to. And then defensively, we touched on our structure that midway through the year. You know, after the Brisbane game, that it wasn't good, and we put some things in place and re-educate a little bit further about what we to achieve. And yeah, we're starting to get the benefits of that now over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I guess you touch on the education bit. That's always a constant as a coach, but even structurally or personnel-wise, you've changed something up as well. Radagale obviously goes forward out of, I guess, necessity to a certain extent, but you certainly look more comfortable with the 2 tools back there and then a sort of a third-ish type tool in that back half.
Yeah, I think it suits us better. And the 2 kind of hybrids that we have in Miles Bergman and Lockie Jones assist in that regard. They can play tall, they can play small or medium. So, you know, they give us that benefit of only playing Thatch and Alir, and then they can take care of the third or a small. So it's the flexibility, and then knowing that Sav's on the ground somewhere, and if we need him, we can call upon that. But yeah, it's been really good for our backline structure to just have the 2. We can kind of move the ball better. We can defend the ground, even when it's big for long periods of time.
Tyson, huge game again this week. This finals-like build-up happens again at Optus Stadium. Freo trying to make the 8. You guys, the game result means a home or away final.
Yeah, it's a big game. And we do like to just keep the eyes pretty low on that. The way we play the game is going to be important, and then let the result be the result. But we know what's on the line. It would be all over us to say that we don't know what it's going to do for us. But just still, the way that we go about it, from now until the flight over there, and then the game itself is important.
Mitch Georgiades, any opportunity to play this week?
Yeah, I think it's a big chance. Good
news.
He's put his hand. Yeah, he's put his hand up. So now it's up to the medical team to assess him tomorrow at training, and then make a decision from there.
Beautiful. Hey, all the best over in the West.
Very good. Thanks, guys.
Tyson Goldsack, defensive coach for Port Adelaide, our guest.
3 minutes to 6. We'll take a break for the news, and Hugh Bowman will join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Hi, it's Will here. Just going to step you through the really simple process to listen to the 5AA Player app. If you've got your phone in your hand like I do, it's as simple as unlocking it, clicking on the app, and then pushing play. And there it is. You simply push play and you're away, listening to any of your favourite 5AA shows at any time from anywhere in the world.
The 5AA Player.
If you're aged between 45 and 49, this news could save your life. You can now opt in to the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program and get a free test kit, which up to now only eligible Australians 50 to 74 could get. Bowel cancer is Australia's second deadliest cancer, but over 90% of cases are treatable if diagnosed early. So, start screening earlier. Search Australian Government Free Bowel Kit and order yours today. Brought to you by the Jodie Lee Bowel Cancer Foundation and the Government of South Australia.
Get cashback rebates on energy-saving appliances with Mac Trade Services. Receive up to $600 on eligible fridges, freezers or dryers, thanks to the South Australian Government REPS rebate. Simply buy an eligible appliance and complete the rebate claim form on our website. Visit mactradeservices.com.au or your local Harvey Norman store today.
While the cat is the way, Timmy Ginniver will read his ads. Complete windscreens, of course, I'm talking about. The good friend Roey's away. Now, a car window smashed, cracked, scratched or chipped. Yeah, well, don't mess around. Call Complete Windscreens, especially this week. For over 40 years, this family-owned SA company has given motorists a clear view of the road ahead with 24-hour windscreen repair and replacement service. So 24 hours. Think about that. 24 hours it can be done. And you need your car back, don't you? So windscreen repair and replacement is done. No one does it better than Hayden and Lindsay Dean. They've been in the business for over 50 years at Complete Windscreens, and which is the very reason you should tell your insurance company you want to deal with Complete Windscreens on the job. And you can ask that. That's no problems. Remember, you don't have to use your insurance company's windscreen repairer. You have a choice. So insist on Complete Windscreens. You deserve the best. So does your car. Visit CompleteWindscreens.com.au while Roey is away.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers tonight down to 13, showers tomorrow 18. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Experience the 2024 New Gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
There's another case of meningococcal disease in SA. A 2-year-old girl is in hospital in a stable condition. It's the 19th case so far this year. New state opposition leader Vincent Tarzia revealed his front bench today, and former leader David Spears isn't on it.
David Spears made it really clear to me that he wanted to take some time out, and he's done that and he's doing that, and to the best of my knowledge he's still overseas at the moment. When David is back in a number of weeks, I'm more than happy and willing to sit down with David Spears, but not at the moment. David Spears is not there at the moment.
Shadow Treasurer Matt Cowdery has also been axed and replaced by Sam Telfer, a former Local Government Association president. Mr Cowdery will move into sport and the environment, David Spears' former portfolio. Heidi Girolamo will take on the new portfolio, cost of living, and Ashton Hearn will remain in health when she returns from maternity leave. Ben Hood and Jack Batty have also been promoted to the Shadow Cabinet. More job losses in the aviation sector. Rex administrators have confirmed another round of redundancies. More than 70 workers are set to be laid off, on top of the 594 employees who've already lost their jobs. The consultation process will run for up to a fortnight, finishing a few weeks short of the next creditors' meeting to determine liquidation or sale of the Rex regional business. The owed entitlements of all redundant workers are in limbo until that meeting. Legislation forcing the CFMEU into administration will soon pass Parliament after a deal was struck between the government and opposition. Sac De Silva is in Canberra.
After days of talks, Labor has secured the coalition's support for its push to appoint administrators to the CFMEU. But the federal government has made some concessions to get the bill through Parliament. Workplace Minister Murray Watt says there will now be a minimum administration period of 3 years and lifetime bans for corrupt officials.
Making sure that we have a clean construction union and a clean construction industry.
The opposition's Michaelia Cash says the union also won't donate to political parties while it's in administration.
The CFMEU will not incur political campaign expenditure.
The union is expected to be placed into administration in coming days.
The countdown to the US election in November continues. Chicago is hosting the Democratic National Convention this week. The party is cementing Kamala Harris as their presidential nominee. Prominent members and celebrities will take part in the 4-day event, including President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden, former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Take sporting entertainment to the next level at Sporties in the Arkaba Hotel, Adelaide's home of live sport.
Port Adelaide assistant coach Tyson Goldsack says the club gave Dan Houston the day off today as he deals with the fallout from his bump which concussed Crow Isaac Rankin. Houston is staring down the prospect of a missed finals series after he was sent directly to the tribunal.
I don't know if it's normal, but it felt he needed it. And, yeah, I don't want to
don't want to say that he's not the victim. We get that. But we're here to look after Dan. We hope that Isaac's okay. We know that Dan has reached out to him to make sure he's okay, and now it's up to us as a club to look after Dan and get him through the tribunal and what goes from there.
Isaac Rankin has entered concussion protocols, so he'll miss Adelaide's final game of the year this weekend. Also taking a hit on Saturday, the Powers mascot Thunder. It was punched in the face by a teenager during the showdown, giving the man inside a blood nose. Racism has also reared its head again. Port has released a statement on a racist attack on social media targeting Willie Rioli. The club says it condemns all forms of racism. West Coast's Harley Reid and 2 Carlton players have been fined over a last quarter melee yesterday at the stadium. It's Reid's 3rd offence in his brief career, and he's been fined $5,000. And Jack Henry and Zach Guthrie have both signed long-term deals with Geelong. They'll keep the players at the club until 2029 and 2028, respectively. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help make a real difference to young lives. Register today for Operation Flinders City to Summit this September.
G'day there, a few passing showers, so take it easy on damp roads on the drive home. But look out for a multi-car smash at Camden Park, Stonehouse Avenue near Anzac Highway. First, Watermain at Oakton, Foster's Road near Hilltop Drive, and slow for works at Paraka Bridge Road near Car Street. Camera 2, McGill Road at McGill. Say goodbye to winter and hello to Hot Asia deals. Save up to 50% on an 8-night Phuket stay from just $1,385 for 2. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers down to 13 tonight. Showers tomorrow, 18. The same on Wednesday and Thursday. Right now it's 18 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. Port's Willie Rioli was the victim of a racist online slur during the showdown. A convicted serial conman has resurfaced in Adelaide on new charges of fraud and stalking. And former opposition leader David Spears has been dumped from the Liberal Party's front bench. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Experience an iconic night of greyhound racing at the 2024 Nationals this Saturday at Angle Park with the best chasers from Australia and New Zealand contesting 2 Group 1 national finals. Make a night of it at Chaser's Restaurant with a dinner and drinks package, or get trackside for live music, food bands, bars and free kids entertainment. General admission is a gold coin donation. Gates opening 5:30pm. Visit greyhoundracingsa.com.au. Don't let the game play you. Stay in control, gamble responsibly.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Welcome back. It is 7 minutes after 6 on this Monday. Still heaps of time for your calls. 8223 0000 is the number. And we have the 5AA Sample Show coming up at 6:30 tonight. Wow, so much happening in the local league with 1 round of footy to go.
Well, I tell you what, I'm so excited about our next guest. There is there's a movie coming out, and it's about a horse named Winx, the fairy tale. You know the story, you don't. So this is the jockey, the man who rode this champion mare for so many times and so many victories. It was incredible. We welcome Hugh Bowman. G'day, Hughie.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Look, super excited about this. What are we actually going to see? Because it says the fairy tale you know, the story you don't. What is it that we don't know?
Well, I mean, there's a lot behind the scenes that goes on, not only with Winx, but all thoroughbred racehorses. And, I think this is a great example of, just how well cared for these amazing animals are. And, she flew the flag not only for us that were involved with her, but for the industry. And look, it's not a movie; it's a documentary. So everything that's within the film is documented, and it's within the participants that were involved with her. So I think it's just a really great real insight into what goes on behind the scenes, not only with her, as amazing as she was, but all horses that are in thoroughbred horse training.
Quite an incredible record, though, to have 25 Group 1 wins. It's just staggering. And the consistency, that's what I loved. And I think we all have a Winx story, but I have a guy, crazy mate, who loves the horses, and he sort of said to me, this is back in 2015, I think, he said, Timmy, get on this horse, you know, you'll never get odds like this again, and all the rest of it. Well, he said, double whatever you put normally and all this, and I thought, geez, he must be serious. And I tell you, Hugh, my hands were shaking when I put it on, but I got $4. Now, who can say they got $4 on Winx? And I think it was
I hope you kept the ticket.
Well, I think I might have. I think it's still in my console. I think it still might be there. But it was all on the back of, and I asked him, why did you give me that? He said, it was that Sunshine Coast run in 2015 when it was last and won by 3 lengths. That was an incredible run, that one. I don't think you were the jockey that day, Hugh, but that was...
Larry Cassidy rode it that day.
Larry Cassidy, that's right.
And he rode Sunline, and we all know what a champion she was, having won 2 Cox Plates, and he did say to me after that race that she could be the best horse he's ever ridden. Wow! And that's all in the movie. I mean, awesome. or the film, the documentary. Yeah. So it's important. You know, if you're a racing enthusiast, I think it's something that you've just got to see. And I think even if you're not, you'll be really touched by the story that is Winx and just how great she was. And you know, coming off the back of the Olympic Games and seeing all these amazing athletes that put so much of their life into performance. You know, this is just another great example of one of those stories.
And Hugh, I mean, 33 in a row is a phenomenal, phenomenal effort. What made her so good?
Well, it was her will to win, but I mean, the thing about horses, unlike athletes, you can't really ask them because they can't answer. But working with her so closely and having the privilege, you know, of understanding the animals and working with them so much, and maybe being at the age I was in my mid-30s, I had the maturity to understand the greatness that was being achieved by this horse. You know, what made her so great? Her will to win, but her attention to her job and her want to succeed was second to none. But she also had the ability to go with it. So, you know, like any great athlete, whether it be human or equine, you know, it's one thing to have the speed and the stamina and the want, but you've also got to have the temperament and the will to continue to work through the tough days, and that's what she did.
And, I mean, that's a phenomenal effort, as we just said. But did you feel pressure as a jockey when you rode her to perform as well? I mean, and make sure that you got her to the line, I guess? Well, I think I certainly felt the burden or the expectation. I wouldn't say I felt pressure. I think looking back on it now, maybe I blocked that out. You know, I would refuse to read newspapers. I refused to watch news headlines because it was all Winx, and I didn't want to be polluted by other people's opinions on how things might pan out. I wanted to go in with a clear mind of how I wanted to do my job, which was ride her, and obviously I understood her well. So, yeah, I had a process that I went through, but it wasn't only for her, it was for every horse, but it was obviously much more magnified riding her. And, yeah, it's looking back on it now, it's been a few years since her retirement, and, you know, she's gone on to her next life in being a mother, which she's doing very well. But, yeah, I guess it was, you know, I just worried about my process. It wasn't about Winx or the attention. I just stayed in my own lane and tried to do my job the best I could, and fortunately, until the end, it was all roses.
I wonder whether we'll see this in a horse named Winx. It's in cinemas September 5. We're talking with champion jockey Hugh Bowman. It was the year 2017. I'd gone over with a bunch of mates to the Cox Plate, like a lot of people do, and we went to Moonee Valley, and we got separated. A few of us went upstairs to the general bar, and I'm looking down in the warm-up rooms, and I see three of my mates down, and for some reason, it must have been an hour and a bit before the race, you came out with the great mare, and you're just sort of having a walk around on your own, and my three mates are standing down there. I think they waved to you. You came over, got off. You've had photos with them and the horse and everything just before she wins three in a row, Cox Plates. And I was up there screaming and yelling out the window, wait for me, but I missed out. But I couldn't believe how generous you were with your time, with the horse, and it was pre-race. Is that sort of stuff caught in the doco?
Maybe not. I'm not so sure I was coming in an hour before the race with the horse, but how many
2
drinks
hours?
did you have that day?
Well, they still got the photos. I'm jealous. I must.
Well,
admit.
maybe I was there, or it was after the race, but certainly before the race, that wasn't happening. But that aside, I certainly understood the magnitude of my position as her pilot, and I understood and continue to understand just how much this horse meant to so many people. And I think it would be remiss of me not to mention Black Caviar, who we understand,
how sad,
passed away recently. But she in her own right set standards that no one thought could be emulated, and it wasn't so long after her amazing career that Winks came along. So, look, they are fragile individuals, as are human beings, and they are treated just as well as we are in our own race. And yeah, I think this movie or documentary really portrays just how important these equine athletes are to those of us that are in the industry, and those of us that love the industry and follow it. And it really is a huge ecosystem in not only Australian society but the world society. And yeah, it's just a real privilege to be involved in such a unique specimen, and that she is. And I'm looking forward to her progeny coming through the racecourse and seeing what they can achieve in the future.
Yeah, well, you touched on that, Hugh, and she has gone to that next phase of being a mum. She lost her first foal, then had one with Piero, and that sold for $10 million, if you don't mind. And she's now in foal, I believe, with Schnitzel. Would you know when that's due, and what sort of, I guess, money would that be worth?
Well, if the 10 million's any sign, well, mate, who knows? But if she has a Schnitzel colt and it goes to market, it could bring anything. It'll depend on its health, and it's early days, as we know. She lost her first foal, which was very sad for everyone involved. But look, as long as she goes through the process and has a healthy foal, well, I'm sure it'll attract as much attention as the Piero filly did earlier this year. But, this is all borne out in the film. And, to Janine Hoskins, who presented the film, and Andrew Rule, who narrated it, and, of course, he wrote the book on Winks. It's been an amazing journey for everyone, and I just can't wait to see and what the public think of it, because it is really quite special. And for me personally, it brought back some really wonderful memories that have never left me, but it just reignited the fire and the understanding of just what she meant to so many people.
Hey, Hugh, how's your back? I think you hurt your back, didn't you?
Last year I did have a nasty fall in Hong Kong, so I'm obviously based over there now and spending my time riding under contract to the Hong Kong Jockey Club, which has been a great, a great change for myself and my family, and reinvigorated my career. But not that it was going that poorly before I left, but it's been a great change. And I did have a nasty fall at October last year, which caused a fractured scapula and lower spine. But we're all over that now and looking forward to the start of the Hong Kong racing season, which is the 8th of September.
Oh, beautiful, mate. Well, all the best with that. But I think when Bruce McAvaney says we've never had a horse mean so much to so many people, I reckon we're all on a winner then. So looking forward to it, mate. In cinemas, September 5th, A Horse Named Winks. Hugh Bowman, the champion jockey with it. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
You're very welcome. Nice to chat. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank
Great
you.
chat with you, Bowman. You don't get those opportunities too often. And
good
we're
timing, isn't
excited.
it? It's almost on the brink of, AFL finals, but heading into the spring carnival, isn't it? And it's always, and it's true. I mean, I'm not a massive horse, but that time of the year is great, isn't it? And some of these stories, I mean, you sit, not even as a horse lover, but you watched Winks run, you watched, Mackay Devey run, you watched Black Caviar, these horses that you had some connection to.
Well, in my time, I've only seen probably crowds, like I reckon I went to the 1990 Adelaide Cup, and I reckon Black Caviar pulled 5,000 or 6,000 more.
Yeah,
so that gives you an idea of it. I think it was 35,000 or something turn up. Yeah. And she ran here twice, and so they're one out of the box. That's going to be a really good watch.
Yeah. These are national icons, no question. So September 5 in cinemas. Make sure you go and watch it. It is 19 minutes after 6. Your call's next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
He's one of the most decorated AFL players in recent history.
Bartel.
Catch Cats Premiership legend Jimmy Bartel. Talking footy each week with Rowie and Timmy G. Thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Simplicity Funerals make funeral planning the way it should be. Simple. With our easy and straightforward packages, it has never been simpler to organise a respectful funeral. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today.
Are you living with heart disease or know someone who is? No matter where you are on your heart health journey, no matter where you live, My Heart, My Life is here to support you to get back to doing the things you love. My Heart, My Life is the Heart Foundation's free support program for people living with heart disease and those caring for them. Receive heart health information, practical tips and guidance tailored to your needs. Take the next step to living well with heart disease. Join today at myheartmylife.org.au.
Enjoy the Emirates experience from Adelaide starting 28th of October. Fly better to Dubai and beyond to over 140 destinations. Recline in comfort with lie-flat beds in business and relax into your spacious seat in economy class. Dine on delicious regional cuisine as you sip complimentary drinks and stay entertained with up to 6,500 channels. Enjoy the unrivaled Emirates experience all the way to your next adventure, because it's not just the destination, it's how you get there. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Now, I don't know about you, Campo, but if I had a swear jar at home, I reckon it would be absolutely full to the brim. And
same.
I'm not saying that's perhaps me.
Someone forced you into that level?
I'm not going to say who it is, but there's somebody in our house that's pretty good at it. So, but here's a swear jar that's full of goodness, and it's the swear jar at By Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Now, Coxie and his team, fantastic. I saw him at the showdown, actually. He said to me, it's full of pledges and promises from the whole team at By Urban, just with the things they swear they'll do.
Yeah, and here's one sent to us straight from the By Urban swear jar, Tim. It's from Chloe, who's the operation manager, who just happens to be Riley O'Brien's fiancée, and obviously a massive Crows fan.
Wow.
Nothing gets past Chloe. She's the queen of managing all bathroom renovation projects, and Chloe swears to ensure that all trades arrive on time every day.
That is a big job, and I'm sure Chloe will get it done. No wonder why Riley's so organised. There you go. It's Chloe. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see By Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Careful, kids.
Sorry, Mum.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. We've dented your car.
Don't worry. Dent Revolution can fix it.
Dent Revolution? Are they expensive?
They do paintless dent repairs. They're quick, RAA approved, cheaper than traditional repairs, and they can come to you.
That sounds great. What do we say?
Thank you. That's okay. You can thank Dent Revolution.
Dents happen, but we've got you covered. Visit dentrevolution.com.au and send us your dent photos to get a quick quote today.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
Tired of waking up tired? IKEA can help. Start building a more sleep-friendly space with IKEA, the one-stop shop for snoozing. So wake up. It's time to sleep. Make it happen at ikea.com.au.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
It's 24 minutes after 6. We're talking all things SANFL after 6:30 with Matt Panos on the 5AA SANFL Show. Permutations at the top of the ladder for the minor premiership
Flying
and
the
for
Redlegs.
teams at 4 and 5 and 6 all looking for a spot.
I was doing the Sturt game on the weekend v West, and of course we were just following the live ladder, and I think they ended up like 0.7 or something off Norwood, so it's hot to trot this weekend.
Certainly
big
is.
games, absolutely. Well, let's keep the callers coming. Flinders Park, g'day Jack.
How you going there, fellas?
Good, Jack.
I want to talk very briefly about the Rochelle thing. Look, I'm a Port man, so naturally I'm happy with the result, and the Rochelle thing didn't do a lot for me. But, you know, look, I'm big enough and ugly enough to move on. And mind you, I think that the Port boys have set themselves up over the last couple of years, and that hasn't done much for me either. My point is this. Quick question, fellas. What do you think is the biggest issue in schools?
I reckon it'd be two things, probably phones, and I reckon, unfortunately, probably sports gambling.
Yeah, okay. Yep, fair enough. I personally think it's bullying and harassment. I mean, I am a school teacher, so I'm thinking that the things that I do with the most...
Well, you know it closer than me, though, Jack.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm leading into the next thing. So bullying and harassment is one of the biggest things that we're confronted with at school. Next thing is, who influences most of our young ones the most, do you reckon, outside of parents?
Oh, definitely those they look up to.
Yeah, whether it be
Yep.
sport or singers or
Yep, yeah,
those sort of things.
Dancers.
Yeah, they look up to our sporting heroes, and they they mimic what our sporting heroes do.
True. Hairdos.
You know, they do the bow and arrow after Dersma scores a goal.
Yep.
They do different soccer celebrations when soccer stars score a goal, and and basketballers and so on. And I guess the point I'm making, and it is relevant because of what Rochelle did, but it's not just him. I think that all sporting people must think really closely about how they behave on and off the field, because they do influence our young kids. And I will bet my bottom dollar that sometime this week, next week, sometime in the future, that there will be, in this instance, it is to do with the Crows and the power, and I have to, I guess, isolate that. And kids can be really nasty to each other, but I bet you my bottom dollar that there will be some Crows kids going up to some Port kids, and they will be mimicking them just as the same way that Rochelle mimicked the crowd on Saturday night.
Yeah, Jack. I think from Rory Laird's comments, I reckon he might be a bit on your page. He didn't say as much, but I reckon he would choose a different celebration.
I think that's a good call. You know, I mean, I've worked in a school environment, and you do see an element of that. But I think the main point is when you're an elite sports person, or when you're in the public eye from that perspective, that's what you sign up for. And some people go, well, I'm playing elite sport. I don't necessarily... No, you have a responsibility to be someone that actually lives and breathes what society accepts and doesn't accept. So, whether it's the Josh one, but it's a good call.
Let's go to Lightsview. G'day, Jesse.
How you going, guys? Look, just on that last call, if you're going to talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk. 9 kicks in a game isn't really demonstrating, and then unfortunately Rochelle is always going to be remembered by pulling out of that contest and having to apologise to his own fans. But anyway, that's not what I'm after. What I want to talk about. Basically, when have the AFL taken the bump out of the game? It was a fair bump. The ball was there to be contested. Clearly he hit his shoulder. Isaac hit the ground and was concussed. It was a football accident. We all wish Isaac a speedy recovery as well, and I'm a mad Port man. These commentators should commentate like they do with umpires. No comment. If they strive helping players to get penalties, change the rules with bumping, no more bumps, and we call it our new game, non-touch footy. Interesting on this one, by the 4 umpires, no free kicks, or reports for the commentators. Hussein had already got 5 to 6 weeks before going to the tribunal. And my next point was, if you have a look at the actual AFL criteria for the games given, if it's a head contact and he gets concussed, it's a natural 4 to 6 week scenario. The fact that he hit him with his shoulder and wasn't intentional, right? That's a 3-week report, according to the AFL. So basically, look, as a sports supporter, he's going to cop games. I would like 2 games. That's my ideal scenario. But look, the realism is he didn't make head contact to start with. It should be, if he had severe 3 weeks.
Thanks, Jesse. Well, like I said at the beginning, I reckon we'll let the tribunal sort it out. But as you say, once it goes there, it's 3 minimum.
That's 3. Yeah, there's lots more to go through tomorrow. Yeah. So in the morning, we'll find out from the AFL what time the tribunal will be. And then during our program tomorrow from 4, we'll have live updates from the tribunal, because it will be playing out live as it happens. It is 6:30. Time for us to get going. Thank you for your company tonight.
Thanks for your help.
We have another big show coming up tomorrow at 4. Coming up next, the 5AA Sample Show.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
The Crown and Anchor Hotel, one of Adelaide's most loved